We all want to be happy, but sometimes that doesn't feel possible. But if you have hope, you have everything. Rising Hope Counseling provides high-quality mental health services with locations across South Dakota. Additionally, by providing telehealth, we ensure South Dakota's rural residents have access to high-quality mental health services. Our team lives and works.
In times like these, it's good to know there's a place where people know who you are, no matter how long you've been gone. A place where the smells of home cooking are still in the air, where a simple wave warms your heart, and sharing stories is just a way of life. It's good to be home. Agraria Insurance Company, protecting what's important in life. Contact your local Agraria Insurance Company agent.
Ace is the place with the helpful hardware, folks.
Ace is the only hardware retailer that carries Benjamin Moore paint at over 3,800 stores. With Benjamin Moore's premium quality, you can be confident you're getting the best. You can buy in store or order what you need online for curbside pickup or delivery. When you want the best, Benjamin Moore paint from Ace at participating stores.
Find Benjamin Moore paint and other great products at your locally owned Olson's Ace Hardware in Beersford.
Fiesta Foods in Beersford is a family-owned store that offers a convenient one-stop shop where you can find everything you need, from the everyday essentials to specialty items from around the world. Find their weekly ad on their website. Fiesta Foods also has the best selection of cut meats in their deli department, fresh bakery, and fresh produce. And no matter the season or holiday, Fiesta Foods has it all right there in store. Open 7 days a week. Fiesta Foods is your one-stop store right in the hometown of Beersford.
Do you have a pest problem? Got bats, ants, termites? Family owned and operated, Olson's Pest Technicians have had over 50 years experience taking care of pest problems in places across South Dakota, Nebraska, and Iowa. Utilizing brilliant methods such as Centricon bait stations for termites and Vicane treatment for bed bugs. There's no pest too tough for Olson's Pest Technicians. If you have pest problems, call 800-KILL-BUGS.
At Northern State University, your future starts with an affordable education that's personalized for you. Experience hands-on learning guided by world-class supportive faculty. You'll also enjoy a full campus life with opportunities to choose from numerous student activities and events, all in a safe, welcoming community. At Northern, you'll find a college that's right for you, a place to belong. Your future starts here. Unleash your potential at Northern.
Customer service is more than just a word. It's what Jensen Insurance Agency and Auto Owners Insurance does every day.
We have more companies than most agencies in town. We're able to find a competitive market for each family. We're able to farm that out, quote it with each of our carriers, including Auto Owners Insurance, of course, and see where it best fits.
In Sioux Falls, Beersford, and Elk Point, go to jensenagencyonline.com to find out more. Jensen Insurance Agency, building relationships since 1944.
Are you looking for a professional house painter in the surrounding area? Big or small, new or old, Albers Painting specializes in restoring the true beauty of your home or business. Albers Painting is your professional commercial painter in Lenox in southeastern South Dakota. They are locally owned and operated, focusing on providing quality painting and top-notch customer service. For your next project, contact Albers Painting for a free estimate for your home or business. Advertising can be a struggle. Where to spend your money? Are you reaching the right audience? If you are looking for an effective method that reaches a large fan base at once, then here is your spot with Live Ticket TV. With over 65 schools in the state of South Dakota, we can help you find the right market. Plus, you can work with me, Heath, and a portion of all sales made go right back to the school. Get a hold of me today and let's get started in helping build your brand with Live Ticket TV.
This is what matters. This is beyond X's and O's. This is the difference mutual respect makes. This is what character looks like. This is what defines us in South Dakota. This is sportsmanship. School sports, it's not the outcome that matters most, but the way the games are played. This message presented by the South Dakota High School Activities Association and the South Dakota Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
Even empty backfield, out of the gun, setting in the pocket, firing for the end zone. Williams, touchdown! What a throw and what a catch!
Whether you are pregnant or planning ahead, you and your baby deserve a healthy start. We offer a wide range of services such as advocacy, health screenings and education, care coordination and car seat safety, participant empowerment, referral services, and fatherhood support. To learn more about Great Plains Healthy Start, visit greatplainstravelhealth.org or call one of our 5 service areas today. Brought to you by Great Plains Healthy Start, so that the people may live.
In times like these, it's good to know there's a place where people know who you are, no matter how long you've been gone. A place where the smells of home cooking are still in the air, where a simple wave warms your heart, and sharing stories is just a way of life. It's good to be home. Agraria Insurance Company, protecting what's important in life. Contact your local Agraria Insurance Company agent.
The foundation for how we do business is right in our initials, W-E. We. Everything we do is a partnership. We understand solving the many complex challenges growers face every day takes teamwork. And when we succeed, we do it together. That's the power of we.
Sheer Magnolia Salon and Beauty Bar offers you normal services but more. We offer haircuts for men, women, and children. Erin and Kayla are the 2 stylists. They don't have specific hours but will stay open late to accommodate families that are always on the go. Their services include full body waxing, mani-pedis, coloring, spray tanning, and more. They are your #1 choice for all things beauty. Located in Beersford, South Dakota. Call 605-763-2011 for your appointment. Sheer Magnolia
Classics Lounge in downtown Beersford is your destination for fun with darts, pool, and to catch all the action no matter what game it is. The colder season is here. Keep your perfect golf swing by using the indoor golf simulator. From the gridiron to the court, Classics is your spot to catch all activities of Watchdogs Live. Ready to cool off with a cold one? Classics Lounge is always ready to serve them up with a bite to eat too. That's Classics Lounge in downtown Beersford.
The innocence of youth. Is there anything any better? But soon they'll be in high school and facing all the same challenges you faced. How to make friends, how to fit in, how to be cool. We want our children to have everything they'll need to live fulfilling and productive lives. Make sure the kids in your family are among the more than 57,000 participants here in South Dakota who take part in high school sports or activities.
The Bridges at Bearsford is the best 9-hole course in the area. You know that. The Bridges at Bearsford is home to much more, including, starting next Thursday, the Thursday night special returns for the colder season. Food specials from 5 to 9. There's also the Friday happy hour for appetizers and money off adult beverages. Need room for a holiday party? There's plenty at Bridges of Bearsford. Call today or find out the full details at bearsfordbridges.com.
Are you stuck in a job that gives you no family life? Work for Sioux Steel and enjoy a 4-day work week. Choose from first or second shift and receive a sign-on bonus. Sioux Steel builds farm bins and livestock solutions. Sioux Steel is hiring right now for machine operators and general laborers for both first and second shift. Sioux Steel makes it easy to apply. Go to their ProTech division in Lennox for walk-in interviews Monday through Thursday from 1 till 5, or apply online at SiouxSteel.com. Join the Sioux Steel team and work a flexible, family-friendly 4-day work week.
At Northern State University, your future starts with an affordable education that's personalized for you. Experience hands-on learning guided by world-class supportive faculty. You'll also enjoy a full campus life with opportunities to choose from numerous student activities and events, all in a safe, welcoming community. At Northern, you'll find a college that's right for you, a place to belong. Your future starts here. Unleash your potential at Northern.
We all want to be happy, but sometimes that doesn't feel possible. But if you have hope, you have everything. Rising Hope Counseling provides high-quality mental health services with locations across South Dakota. Additionally, by providing telehealth, we ensure South Dakota's rural residents have access to high-quality mental health services. Our team lives and works in your communities, and we understand the unique challenges we face. Schedule an appointment by phone or online today. Rising Hope Counseling, offering hope, healing, and change.
In times like these, it's good to know there's a place where people know who you are, no matter how long you've been gone. A place where the smells of home cooking are still in the air, where a simple wave warms your heart, and sharing stories is just a way of life. It's good to be home. Agraria Insurance Company, protecting what's important in life. Contact your local Agraria Insurance Company agent.
Ace is the place with the helpful hardware, folks.
Ace is the only hardware retailer that carries Benjamin Moore paint at over 3,800 stores. With Benjamin Moore's premium quality, you can be confident you're getting the best. You can buy in store or order what you need online for curbside pickup or delivery. When you want the best, Benjamin Moore paint from Ace at participating stores.
Find Benjamin Moore paint and other great products at your locally owned Olson's Ace Hardware in Beersford.
Watchdogs.live pregame.
Fiesta Foods in Beersford is a family-owned store that offers a convenient one-stop shop where you can find everything you need, from the everyday essentials to specialty items from around the world. Find their weekly ad on their website. Fiesta Foods also has the best selection of cut meats in their deli department, fresh bakery, and fresh produce. And no matter the season or holiday, Fiesta Foods has it all right there in store. Open 7 days a week. Fiesta Foods is your one-stop store. Right in the hometown of Beersford.
Do you have a pest problem? Got bats, ants, termites? Family owned and operated, Olson's Pest Technicians have had over 50 years experience taking care of pest problems in places across South Dakota, Nebraska, and Iowa. Utilizing brilliant methods such as Centricon bait stations for termites and Vicane treatment for bed bugs, there's no pest too tough for Olson's Pest Technicians. If you have pest problems, call 800-KILL-BUGS.
At Northern State University, your future starts with an affordable education that's personalized for you. Experience hands-on learning guided by world-class supportive faculty. You'll also enjoy a full campus life with opportunities to choose from numerous student activities and events, all in a safe, welcoming community. At Northern, you'll find a college that's right for you, a place to belong. Your future starts here. Unleash your potential at Northern.
Customer service is more than just a word. It's what Jensen Insurance Agency and Auto Owners Insurance does every day.
We have more companies than most agencies in town. We're able to find a competitive market for each family. We're able to farm that out, quote it with each of our carriers, including Auto Owners Insurance, of course, and see where it best fits.
In Sioux Falls, Beersford, and Elk Point, go to jensenagencyonline.com to find out more. Jensen Insurance Agency, building relationships.
Fans, welcome to Beersford High School, Cortland Carnes Stadium. This 11B Winter Warriors taking on the 11A Beersford Watchdogs. Apologize, we're getting a little sound check done at the same time as we do introductions here. Jared Olson on the broadcast, joined by Jeff Boom. Jeff, good to see you again.
Hey, thanks for joining us. We really look forward to another home cooking game here in Cortland Carnes Stadium today.
Yeah, Jeff, we got the camera kind of going. It's over at east of the stadium, past the practice field, out in our softball field behind the school. It's a student council fundraiser. It's a color theme night. It's kind of a white out, but they put a little twist on it as a little fundraiser and something fun. The student council sold color packets, and so now all their shirts kind of have these colors on it. So that's kind of the theme or the fun thing they're doing tonight as part of the student council and student engagement. Kind of spans from elementary students all the way through the high school. So that's kind of a fun deal tonight.
Yep, cheerleaders got their, looks kind of like a tie-dye look. Got a little color on the face, so nice environment, loose environment here tonight. Let's hope the players feeling the same way tonight.
Jeff, you know, it's a beautiful night here tonight. Last week the wind was really howling south to north. We don't have that, just a really nice light breeze. Still a little warm for football season, but relative, it's a pretty nice evening for football here in Beersford.
Yeah, what I usually call the hitting weather is closer to the 50, 55, and I think most players, if you've ever played the game, that's kind of the temp that you like, just because of the fact with the pads and that sort of thing. It's more of a comfortable temperature, but you know what? It's September. It's South Dakota. You get 80 degrees with a mild breeze. You'll take it. It's still going to be a beautiful night for football, and anytime you don't have rain or snow or a lot of wind, it's still a good environment.
Jeff, we'll dig further into each of these squads and give a little more insights into what we might see tonight. We had a pleasure of being joined by some members of each side of the teams going tonight, and we recorded those pre-game interviews. Let's get into those. We'll start off, rather than talking to the head coach tonight for the Watchdogs, we did take a moment and visit with senior Robert Watkins, just gain a little insight from him. Let's go to that pre-game visit with Robert Watkins of the Beersford Watchdogs. Watchdogs.live pregame show. Jared Olson here. A pleasure to be joined by senior football player Robert Watkins. Robert, welcome to the Watchdogs.live pregame show.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, let's look back before we look forward. Robert, tough game against Canton, but there was kind of one highlight there from our Watchdogs.live booth. Mom and Dad, Grandpa, your sister, her boyfriend. I mean, the whole crew was right in front of us. Canton punched the ball deep into Watchdog territory, about the 2 or 3 yard line, if I remember correctly. The very next play, you pop a big run. I mean, maybe take the listeners through what that was like at home in front of the fans and family getting that big run.
Well, it was a big adrenaline rush. We're down. I was actually started in the end zone, being back at the fullback, but me and Ryan, the quarterback, we fumbled the handoff at first, actually, so it was one of those. I picked it up off the ground and looked up, and there was just no one in front of me. Just took off. So, yeah, it was definitely a fun moment there.
Yeah, great. Now you're going to look ahead. We've got the Winter Warriors coming into town. Let's talk maybe your role defensively, what position you play, and then we'll just kind of talk about some of your responsibilities.
So I'm an inside middle linebacker. And as far as responsibility goes, it depends, week to week. Our defensive changes for 4-4, 4-3, wherever we're in, but mainly run stop, inside gaps, the A gaps, B gaps. And looking forward to winter. They got a good run game. Gonna be tough to stop. But
yeah, I mean, you kind of hit on that run approach, inside gaps. We know winter's going to come in kind of that T formation or a double wing. We're going to see 2 lead backs going up the hole, and the third one has the ball. As soon as we start selling out on that, we know we're going to get a little misdirection and hope that we're overplaying, the initial movement of the ball. Maybe take us through, as you prep for that, and the rest of the defensive players, trying to stop that running game of the Winter Warriors.
Well, first off, starts with the D-line. They're going to have to be strong. The Winter comes out and double teams the D-line real well. So having our guys, hold their ground, cause a pile-up in the hole, don't get, pushed back to the linebackers. And then, like you said, the reverses and the counters and stuff for the backside. Having our edge outside linebackers staying home, being really disciplined there, that's going to be huge. Same with our backside linebackers, playing it slow to the ball, making sure they don't break tackle, cut back. stuff like that. But just being tough on the D-line and then having our linebackers play fast will be important.
All right, very good. Appreciate kind of that deep insight into kind of how you guys are going to approach this thing defensively. Robert, anybody that knows you knows outside of Watchdog athletics, a big passion is sledding. What you guys got any trips? Kind of senior year, got any big trips with the snowmobiles coming up this winter, or still in the works?
Yeah, we always go over New Year's, over Christmas break for 4 days, whatever, 5 days to out in Wyoming. But it depends year to year as the snow goes, but usually we get 2 good trips in a year.
Okay, great. Robert, kind of a last chance here. Again, senior year, you're going to enjoy the ride. We've got homecoming coming up and all the festivities that come with that. And again, you've got your whole senior year ahead of you yet. Opportunity here for a little shout-out if you want to kind of throw a little, hey, thanks for everything to somebody out there today.
Yeah, thanks to the coaches between football and wrestling and everything, just guided me through a high school career. And thanks to my parents and bringing me to all the athletics and just getting me through the school years and things like that. So,
all right, Robert, you've been a great representative of the Watchdogs and Watchdog Athletics. We appreciate you taking a little time for the Watchdogs.live pregame show. Best of luck.
Yeah, of course. Thank you.
All right, Jeff, nice of Robert to join us. Kind of maybe just expand on, we know we're getting a lot of run game out of the Warriors. We could only assume the approach from the coaching staff is going to be no big plays. Try to make this thing slow down as much as possible, but they will bring 5-6 backs, as we will hear from Coach Trent Olson pretty soon here. But thoughts as they kind of approach this running game that the Winter Warriors will bring into town?
Well, you want to start out and say, number one, obviously physicality is the way that you stop a run game. We haven't really shown signs of super physicality in the last couple of games, except for, I would say, probably there was moments in Millbank. Obviously, very physical game up there, a lot of beef. Last week, Canton was able to do finesse, a little more physical than us in other areas. So, I think Robert hit it on the head. Everyone's got to do their job. And that starts with the defensive line, then outside linebackers. Everyone's just got to do their job and not worry about what everybody else is doing, and that's going to be the key to slowing down this type of a run attack.
All right, let's take a quick minute here. Let's hit the visit that we had earlier today with head coach of the Winter Warriors, Trent Olson. Fans, welcome to Watchdogs Out Live pregame show. It's a pleasure to be joined by head coach of the Winter Warriors, Trent Olson. Coach Olson, welcome to the pregame show.
Well, thanks for having me on.
Yeah, Coach, you're going to hit the midway point of your 11B season, regular season. You guys play 8 regular season games. This will be game 4 for you. Let's look week 1. I was just kind of bouncing around on on Live Ticket, trying to find a game that night because Beersford wasn't playing in that opening week as an 11A school. I landed on you guys in Tri-Valley, and what a game that was. Maybe take us through that battle and maybe what your team can take away from that, later on in the season.
Yeah, it was a defensive slugfest. In the first game of the year, it's not unusual for the defenses to be ahead of the offenses. Both offenses moved the ball a little bit at times, but execution errors, I'd say both teams couldn't sustain anything. And I've coached a long time. It's my 23rd year here. I don't remember a game going 0-0 to overtime. Maybe in 2001 we might have had one of those, but much less triple overtime and no one scored yet. A really exciting game if you like defense, and those kind of games are fun for fans, but real stressful as a coach. The good news is the kids kept playing. They kept playing through all the mistakes and we made offensively. And, maybe you find something in a little adversity there and something you can hang your hat on later in the year.
Yeah, that's, I think, as I was watching, Tri-Valley goes early to kick that field goal to try to win it and seal it, just misses it. Again, you're right, your guys kind of hung in there, and that's maybe the hope is down the line you find another tough opponent, and certainly you're going to probably see something in the playoffs for sure, where maybe they can fall back on that piece.
Right, and that's at least the next real tight game you have. You kids have been there before. that doesn't always happen in high school football. In South Dakota, sometimes you get late in the year and you haven't played a close game all year. So at least then maybe we'll be able to keep our composure and just keep fighting.
Coach, you kind of referenced you've been around quite a while. If there's something we know about Winter Warriors football is we're going to see a lot of running of the football. Maybe you can highlight for the fans what they're going to see tonight of some of your backfield and names we're going to see and hear there.
Yeah, we run double tight most of the time. Don't use wideouts very much. You're going to see double wing. You're going to see the T. And we use a variety of backs, and linemen. We try to rotate guys a lot to keep guys fresh. Our guys play both ways, which some of the 11A schools don't. But we try to keep them fresh by rotating. You'll probably see 4 or 5 different running backs. Well, at least 5 will be for sure in the game. Right away in the first couple drives, you'll see 5 different running backs. I suppose a couple seniors, Jude Sargent, Aiden Barfus. A couple of big names, and Carson Keyser's a junior, had a big week last week. Stratton Moorhart, quarterback. But for the way we play, blocking's more important than running, and so it's the guys up front. But all those backs have to block too. We don't feature one guy who gets 25, 30 carries. We have 5 guys who get 6 or 7 carries a game, and that's just kind of the way we play.
Yeah, no, we know we're going to see a lot of 2 lead backs going up, third one has the ball, and you're right, every one of them has to do their part to make this work. You kind of hit on those offensive linemen, the blocking. Let's maybe flip to the other side of the ball, an opportunity for you to maybe speak of a few of your defensive linemen.
Right, and it's so important to control the line of scrimmage on both sides of the ball. Beersford has some big physical kids, so it's going to be a real challenge tonight. We have some size, too, up front. Spencer Calhoun is a huge guy. Sean Hammerbeck is a big dude at defensive end over there. Noah Best inside. And we'll rotate some young guys in there behind them. We've had some injuries at defensive end, so you're going to see some kind of new faces there. Matt Brozick, Kellen Brozick, Joey Anderson, Derek Fernanga. But that's huge. You can't let the other team run the ball and control the clock, and I think Beersford would like to do that. So we need to try to take that away and get our ground game established, and that'll probably be the biggest part of the game tonight.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think the Watchdogs are going to want to try to control the ball in the game a little bit, and hopefully try to slow things down in that running attack, and again, kind of come to both sides of the ball. You referenced Calhoun. Just quick looking at the roster, senior, 6'9", 315 pounds, and then Hammerbeck you referenced, a junior at 6'7", 245 pounds, so there's a lot of beef there.
Yeah, we have some size. A lot of years we don't, and to be honest, that's okay too. With the double wing and stuff, you can get away with being smaller because you use angles and pull. This year we're a little different. We're bigger up front than we usually are, and so you might see a little more leads than you do some of our pull game just because of our personnel.
Yeah, very good. Coach Olson, we really do appreciate you taking a few minutes with us here on the Watchdogs Out Live pregame show. Wish you the best of luck tonight.
All right, thank you.
All right. All right, Jeff, I kind of heard from head coach Trent Olson there and kind of gave us a real nice interview and an honest discussion of, what he thinks he's going to see from the Watchdogs. But more importantly, he really kind of, everybody knows who Winter Warriors football is, but he kind of really told us kind of what it was. Let's kind of reference a couple of those linemen he hit on. Spencer Calhoun, again, said in the interview, 6'9", 315 pounds. Sean Hammerbeck, junior, 6'7", 245 pounds. And there's a couple other I noted here, a couple of the Brozicks, number 85, Matt Brozick, a junior, 6'2", 205 pounds. And Kellen Brozick, number 86, a junior, listed at 6'3", 195 pounds. There's a lot of beef there to kind of deal with.
Well, he knows what he's got. He references it, and he said, you can get away with the type of offense that they run typically with smaller guys. You literally have size. Some of these sizes that we're seeing here on this line would look very similar to a D2, D1 type of college size of lineman. So he knows he's got some talent. Last year being down in the Dome, playing Elk Point, the size was there, it was evident, and they've built upon that. And so I think now, as opposed to having some misdirection, maybe some deception, they can come right at you. It's very difficult to defend someone that's 6'9", the wingspan and everything else that comes along with that. So it's going to be a challenge for those guys up front. We are a little short in some areas, and so it's going to be interesting to see how we try to, get through some of those blocks when we have guys that are that long and that rangy. It's just going to be a massive challenge for the Watchdogs, and I really hope we're up to the challenge tonight.
Yeah, let's flip sides of the ball. He did say we're going to see 5 or 6 running backs touching the ball. They don't look to premier or focus on one back getting 20 to 25, 30 carries. We're going to see 5 or 6 backs, 4 or 5, 6 backs, all with about 5 carries apiece. Looking at a little bit of tape, we know we're going to see number 18, Aiden Barfus. He's a senior, 6 foot, 200 pounds. He's got going to run downhill and make you feel it as he brings it. Number 6, Carson Keyser, the junior, 5'9", 150 pounds. Also, we're going to see in action number 26, Gus Bartles, the junior, at 5'10", 160 pounds. Number 29, June Sargent, the senior, at 6 foot, 180 pounds. So they've got a lot of options there to hand the ball. And again, you can't focus on any one of them because all of a sudden you'll see some misdirection and they'll go the other direction on you. And Robert Watkins hit on that. Backside has to stay home. Where maybe the motion or the ball movement's initially going to, those linemen and linebackers have to do their job.
Yep, and that's like what we talked about earlier. Do your job. As soon as you start thinking, well, you know what, I need to get to the other side of the ball. We saw it last week. Player got over to the near sideline here on the west side of the field. We had a ton of over pursuit. He was able to cut it back, and end up scoring on the opposite side of the field in the end zone. And that just comes from over pursuit. When we have defensive linemen that can hold their hole, stop right where they need to be, anchor down, and not get pushed around and let the linebackers fill in those gaps. That's really the only way you can stop a team like this, because if you start to fall for all the trickery, you will definitely be out of position very quickly.
All right, Jeff, we're going to take a quick commercial break. Before we do that, we got some new team members with us here. Owen Hieronymus joining us for the first time as part of Dogbone Entertainment, Watchdogs.live. Owen is going to be doing the production tonight. Owen, what grade are you in? He's a 7th grader. He's going to be helping us out, taking us in and out of commercials, changing camera views. Also on tonight, helping is Renee James, Gavin Stewart, and Hunter Penn. Gavin and Hunter we've had on before, but Owen, take us to our first commercial break.
Ships since 1944.
Are you looking for a professional house painter in the surrounding area? Big or small, new or old? Albers Painting specializes in restoring the true beauty of your home or business. Albers Painting is your professional commercial painter in Lenox in southeastern South Dakota. They are locally owned and operated, focusing on providing quality painting and top-notch customer service. For your next project, contact Albers Painting for a free estimate for your home or business. Advertising can be a struggle. Where to spend your money? Are you reaching the right audience? If you are looking for an effective method that reaches a large fan base at once, then here is your spot with Live Ticket TV. With over 65 schools in the state of South Dakota, we can help you find the right market. Plus, you can work with me, Heath, and a portion of all sales made go right back to the school. Get a hold of me today and let's get started in helping build your brand with Live Ticket TV.
Our fans, welcome back. Fiesta Foods. We're your local community connection for high-quality foods, friendly service, and great prices. Their family-owned store offers a convenient one-stop shop where you can find everything you need, from the everyday essentials to specialty items from around the world. Jeff, now let's kind of flip onto the Watchdog. The home Watchdog side of things, coming off a 0-9 loss to Millbank, and then a really tough loss to Canton last week. They're a good squad. But just the turnovers early on really kind of hurt us there.
Yeah, as soon as you come out, you get a opening kickoff, the ball goes through our hands. We had trouble, just collecting the kickoffs. You kind of wonder sometimes, can you get a little overhyped before a game? You can, and all of a sudden the focus isn't there. And I think that we maybe got a little too excited before the game. and it started to rear its ugly head earlier. But anytime that you're going to turn the ball over 5 times in the first half against a red-hot offense that we were facing, it's a recipe for disaster, and we were definitely baking the cake last week, by the time we got to halftime.
Jeff, I think, this is an opportunity where we're searching for what is our identity after all the graduates from last year. I think we're still in that phase of figuring it out. What might the fans expect potentially on the field tonight that maybe is a little different as they try to, again, find out what is our identity in 2023?
Well, and like you said, Jared, it's here we are in game number 3. After tonight, we're the third way through the season. So we have to start to figure out, what are we? I think what we did in the beginning part of the year is we tried to kind of create an offense with maybe a little bit of misdirection. We were doing kind of a double pistol, which is a very unique look that you probably wouldn't see. And I don't know if we really had the effect that we were hoping for. And here's what happens. You start a season. You've got players in there that you haven't seen before. And that's what makes high school football so unique. It's a lot of people can play different positions, and I think that's what we're going to end up seeing tonight. So what I think we can expect tonight, we know we've got Seth James, one of our big tight ends, a little dinged up, he's got some wrist issues. He's going to slide in with a kind of a cast on his hand. He'll slide in and play tackle. I think we're going to see Joe Sharp, who has been kind of a swing tackle for us, playing right side and left side. We'll slide into that center position, and then we'll probably see some guys that have been playing wide receiver for us slide into that wing back. So it's an effort to try to take a look, say, do we have some square pegs trying to put them in round holes? And so you just maybe at a point in the season where you say, let's try some personnel changes. Let's see if we can find lightning in a bottle, and maybe we pull off an upset tonight.
Yeah, again, you give the coaches all the credit. They're just trying to find the best opportunity for the opponent that we're playing. Again, we're speculating a little bit on what we're going to see, but you're aware of some of these changes that we know we're going to see. Getting through the starting lineups here. We'll kind of keep talking through here. We'll do a quick commercial break during the anthem, but much more we can add here, Jeff, before we go to quick commercial break.
No, I think right now, the key to this game, as we talked about, it's number one, stop in the running game. But on the offensive side of the ball for us, last week, as we said, a lot of turnovers. We have to figure out how to stay ahead of the chains. Too many times do we end up in 3rd and long. Even if you look at pro football, if you get a 3rd and 5, it's a throwing down typically. You might be able to pull off a sneaky run here and there to get a first down, but passing is not our best look. And when it's 3rd and 5, that puts us in a passing situation. So we really need to keep the chains moving, average in that 3rd to 4 yards a carry, get us in 3rd and short, give us that opportunity to keep the ball on the ground, and that give us some success. And we just haven't seen that yet this year. So hopefully tonight we can kind of find some traction with our running game, get ahead of those chains, and start to accumulate some first downs and start putting some points on the board before we reach halftime.
Yeah, week 1 it was more penalties. Week 2 against Canton it was more turnovers. Hopefully tonight we can come out a little cleaner, establish some ball control, chew up some clock, move the ball, first downs, and see where that takes us. All right, Owen, why don't you take us to another commercial break? Fans, we will be right back.
This is what matters. This is beyond X's and O's. This is the difference mutual respect makes. This is what character looks like. This is what defines us in South Dakota. This is sportsmanship. School sports, it's not the outcome that matters most, but the way the games are played. This message presented by the South Dakota High School Activities Association and the South Dakota Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
Even empty backfield out of the gun. Setting in the pocket. Firing for the end zone. Williams, touchdown! What a throw and what a catch!
Whether you are pregnant or planning ahead, you and your baby deserve a healthy start. We offer a wide range of services such as advocacy, health screenings and education, care coordination and car seat safety, participant empowerment, referral services, and fatherhood support. To learn more about Great Plains Healthy Start, visit greatplainstravelhealth.org or call one of our 5 service areas today. Brought to you by Great Plains Healthy Start, so that the people may live.
In times like these, it's good to know there's a place where people know who you are, no matter how long you've been gone. A place where the smells of home cooking are still in the air, where a simple wave warms your heart, and sharing stories is just a way of life. It's good to be home. Agraria Insurance Company, protecting what's important in life. Contact your local Agraria Insurance Company agent.
The foundation for how we do business is right in our initials, W-E. We. Everything we do is a partnership. We understand solving the many complex challenges growers face every day takes teamwork. And when we succeed, we do it together. That's the power of we.
World is full of demon stocks and bonds and Bible traders, so I do the deed, get up and leave.
With locations in Beersford, Worthy, Northern Plains Lumber has anything you need, from small projects to full restorations. Northern Plains Lumber has what you need for your next project. Northern Plains Lumber. All right, Jeff, a pretty good crowd filling in at the stadium here, at Cortland Carnes Stadium. Mr. Smelling, our new band instructor, has got the first pep band going of the night, so we appreciate them making the effort. Captains are going out for the coin toss.
Lots of purple in this thing, similar, school color as we do. So we got some purple. Pretty cool to see, even though we know that some of these fans are coming from winter. But they travel well, and why wouldn't they? Very successful football program for decades, the last few years. Tremendous success, and watch them again this year. Here we are, ranked number 1, 11B, and yes, we're playing down a division tonight, but this, folks, by far is not a classic 11B type of football that we'll see tonight. Last year, for sure, they could have easily made their way into the Dome semifinals or finals, and potentially even played with a team like Del Rapids. So quite a challenge we have on our hands tonight with the Beersford Watchdogs.
All right, the coin toss has taken place. Watchdogs will receive the ball. They will start on the north end, working north to south. You did reference winter. They are, based on South Dakota High School Activity Association seed points, they are ranked number 1, 3-0 record. So this is their midway point. 11B is going to play 8 regular season games. They started 1 week before we did. This is their midway point. You referenced earlier for the Watchdogs, this is our 3rd game, and in 11A we play 9 regular season games. So this is our 1/3 point into the season. But you're right, winter clearly a team to contend within 11B, and they are going to cause some pain to people in 11A as well that they face on their schedule.
Well, this could be, and I want to say it's a classic trap game. We're still trying to kind of get our footing, I think, on the season, on some of the things that we're doing. But this could be the type of game. Winners had their way with us the last couple of years, even with that, high quality team of last year that could put some points on the board. This defensively, they did a really nice job against Beersford last year. And so, you wouldn't foresee this being a trap game, but sometimes you start to look forward to the next opponent. I'm not real familiar with what they have coming up next, but you just never know when we have a team that maybe overlooks them. It looks like they've got lead Deadwood next week, and then looking forward, Bridgewater is probably another team that could pose some challenges, but not too far in front of that. They have West Central, which will be an amazing football game. So, we'll see the focus that they have tonight, coming off of a very, very physical game last week, as Coach Olson had said, no points, and so here we go.
All right, that is Barfist kicking off for the Watchdogs. Grabbed there by set in reverse over to Valder. He's up the sideline, cuts back into a Warrior tackler. That is number 18, Barfus. The kicker was the one making the tackle. Valder brings it out to the 39-yard line. Watchdogs will start 1st and 10 from their own 39-yard line.
And that's the way it's got to start. Last week, similar situation. Ball came down to about the same yard line, slips through. I don't know. I don't remember who it was, if it was Gabble Valder or not, but the ball slips through the hands, kind of messes up the tempo. You can't really pull off your fake reverse, and here we are. We're starting out about near the 40-yard line.
All right, 2 backs in the backfield, double wing, so tight formation for the Watchdogs. Handoff inside. That one did go to... That was Valder carrying the ball there.
So let's try it. We're going to try running the teeth. I don't know if this is a game where we're going to see a ton of success. As we talked in the pregame, you got 6'7", 6'9" here and here. We might have to try some edges, but let's see if we can soften them up. Obviously, we've had some personnel changes on the line, so let's just see what we got.
Couple wing backs. That is Malachi James in motion. Pitch out around the left side, far side of the field. James is wrapped up at the line of scrimmage, so 2 plays, really no gain for the Watchdogs, bring up 3rd and 10.
Two plays in a row, not a ton of success. Here we are again in the 3rd and long, not where we ideally want to be. So we'll see what we have up our sleeve. This is a game where realistically, we're 0-2, trying to figure some things out. This would be a great game to maybe throw some wrinkles in there, maybe some surprise plays, a little trickery. Some formations maybe, and try catch winner off guard and do something special.
Okay, Ryan Svegan was under center. Now he's back in the gun. We have 4 out to the right side.
Pick that.
Tried a little screen play out to number 5, Jack Stennon. Goes over Stennon's head. Pass is ruled incomplete, so they are saying that was a forward pass, incomplete.
And, that's one there where it's a little dangerous. You throw that ball out there. If you're not sure if that ball went forward, if it went lateral or backwards, that would be a fumble. So, unfortunately, it took a bounce out of bounds. But for you youngsters watching the game, if that ball is rolling around, regardless if you think it's an incomplete pass or not, you just get on that ball and make sure that you retain possession.
Okay, Watchdogs 3 and out, back in punt formation. That is number 81, Levi Fitzgerald. He works the sideline there, kicks it out of bounds on the far side of the field. Back deep for the Warriors was one of that running back quintuplets that we talked about, Carson Keyser.
So here we are, playing defense. Didn't have a great start with a 3 and out. This is where we have to have the players not look around and start to say, here we go again. Knowing it's only one game that we really, really suffered there with Canton, but, it can sink in pretty quick when you're 0-2, so hopefully they can keep a winning attitude here, and let's see if we can pull up a turnover or something to get ourselves back on offense.
Okay, nice job there defensively. A gain of 4 or 5, which is what the Warriors were looking for, but one of the dogs, I think it was Robert Watkins, got on the ankle of the ball carrier. Double wing formation. Under center is the quarterback, number 14, Stratton Morehart. Morehart, a senior, 5'8", 170 pounds.
So if you're looking at our defensive line, you'll see it looks a little different than it has before. We've got Seth James, who's typically number 82, I believe. Now is wearing 56 tonight. He's the player that we mentioned earlier that has a wrist issue. You'll see the kind of the cast or brace that he has on his arm, and so they're going to try him at tackle tonight, and he'll still play his normal defensive end position.
All right, I believe the ball carrier there was Aiden Barfus, the senior, 6 foot, 200 pounds, needed 5, got 6. So from their own 40.5-yard line, Winter Warriors 1st and 10.
And this is the first offense we've really faced this year that they're probably not going to see some tight or some wide receiver type of formations. They're just going to stand up, do a double tight ends, kind of pack everything right inside the lines, and just run downhill at you. Little deception here and there, but most of the time with this size of line, they're just going to try basically cram it down your throat. And so we made a change on defense. You'll notice Malachi James is up closer to the line of scrimmage without having a receiver to man up on, so it's more of a 4-4 look, basically trying to fill all the gaps with these 8 players, and you'll watch throughout the game, we'll just continually creep up, and you can see right now we've got 9 guys in the box.
Yeah, that last play was 29, Jude Sargent in motion. They gave him the pitch. He went for about 5 or 6 yards. This time they go the opposite direction to the wide side or near us on the camera, and that was number 6, Carson Keyser, the junior.
And it's nice to see physical tackles, and we're having some of them. You know, unfortunately, it happens to take place 4 or 5 yards past the line of scrimmage. So we just have to find a way to get some penetration. You know, maybe this will come to a point where if we're not having success kind of sitting here and waiting, we just might have to start sending some blitzers up there to see if we can catch them in a hole and cause some sort of a turnover or a loss of yardage or something in here.
That is Barfus. Straight up the middle, hard 7 yards. Defensive tackles, you kind of referenced a couple of those guys. So these are guys we've seen in there before in that forefront. Number 65, Cohen Shirk, the junior, and also number 52, Jace Adams, the junior as well, kind of anchoring that front of that defensive line.
And we might have seen some rotations. You know, you mentioned earlier, number 18, Barfus. He's not going to be a kid that's going to try to avoid contact. Big physical kid, 11B, those size of running backs that they have is impressive. And there's the type of play we're looking for. Did we just get a turnover? We did.
Okay, that's exactly what
we're
the
looking for.
Watchdogs needed. So on that play, they had the motion going right or away on the far side of the field. They did kind of a counter back or coming back to number 29, Jude Sargent. Robert Watkins fought through one of those gaps, made initial contact. I'm not sure who it was that made the secondary hit. Ball came loose, and Watchdogs have it. So 1st and 10 after the turnover on their own 40-yard line. Watchdogs splitting out 4 on the near side, 1 out to the left. Svegan back in the gun, fumbles the snap, just goes down on it. Lives to play another down here, but that is a 7-yard loss on the snapped or the fumbled snap.
And here's the risk when we start to change personnel. We've got Joe in playing center, and so not his normal position so far this year. Maybe he inherits this position long term, but someone that's not used to snapping the ball, and one of the most difficult things you can do as a center is snap back to shotgun. So there we go again.
That one goes over the head even further. Svegan does get on it, goes down to the 10-yard line, so that's a pretty significant. That's a 23-yard loss just on the snap. And we're going to be third and forever here, 3rd and 40 from the 10-yard line.
Yep, right now you just try to, you want to make sure that ball doesn't get snapped into the end zone because we're in a dangerous spot here, backs against the wall. Just make sure we just get a clean snap. I'd really like to see him go under center at this point, but I get you've got an offense, so let's just hope we get a clean snap, get the ball moving forward, and just live to punt the ball away.
Okay, 2 split to the left, 3 to the right. Snap to Svegan. It was a design quarterback draw, and the defense was there, one of the big guys. That was 88 there for the Warriors. Sean Hammerbeck, coach talked about him in the pregame show. A junior, 6'7", 245 pounds, was one of the first guys back there.
And so right now, let's just make sure we get this ball away. A long punt here would be fantastic. Not a bad punt at all, right?
Pretty good punt. Cooper Nelson is down there. Great Watchdog bounce. Levi Fitzgerald, number 81, the senior punter for the Watchdogs. And the applause of the Watchdog fans, they know how important getting that punt off was at that moment. Cooper Nelson released down the field. The deep back, the return man, just stepped away, wanted nothing to do with that. It's the way the ball was coming, and Cooper Nelson was there. And then the huge bounce kept taking it to the south.
Yep, it's really important here that we've got the ball on the other side of the 50. Winters had some success here early on. We did talk a little bit about the physical nature that we're tackling tonight, and so if we can continue to put a hurting on them when they're carrying the ball, jar that ball loose, this is the type of play that'll keep us in it. So, this is a good time right here too, as they start to, if you start to feel like they're dominating that run game, you get some guys stood up like that, someone's got a hold of his leg, and he's fighting for those other yards. You really need to have a defensive back or a linebacker come up and punch at that ball or try to scratch it away. We saw it last week when we were playing against Canton. Swagan comes up the middle. A kid basically just pulls the ball right out of his arms, and this is opportunities for us to do that. So let's see if the coaches recognize that and start to focus on that a little bit.
Motion here from Zach Olson. Quarterback keeper, and Stratton Morehart keeps that one himself. Gain of about 4 on the play, so it'll bring up 3rd and 1 for the Warriors at the Watchdog 48-yard line.
And as we talked about, Beersford wants to stay ahead of the chains. This is the way that you do it. You get 3, 4, 5 yards per carry. Now they're in a very good position, a 3rd and short, right where they want to be. They're not going to try fool you and throw the football very often. They're just going to run for their first downs.
Okay, fake handoff there to Barfus. Quarterback keeps it himself. Gets the first down before he is met at the 25-yard line by number 22 for the Watchdogs. That is Delay.
Yep, this team is going to bring it. So on the defensive side of it, this is where you really got to be hard-nosed. Arm tackles will not bring this caliber of quarterback nor the running backs down. They're physical in nature. They like to put a hat on you. So there's a lot of wrapping up is going to be the key tonight for tackling.
Slow motion there, straight down the line from number 5, the running back, Zach Olson. They do hand it off to him, the sophomore. So Zach Olson, number 5, the sophomore, 5'7", 150 pounds. Jeff, we're 8 minutes through this first quarter. Score 0-0. Warriors with a 2nd and 1 from the Watchdog 25-yard line.
Yeah, at some point here, the turnover was great. Some point here we have to dominate somewhere on the line of scrimmage, and whether that's through running some twists or some things. But, as of right now, they are definitely imposing their will right up the middle, and there's not a whole lot we've been able to do to stop it. So I'm kind of at a point now where I'm ready to see some blitzes, something where we just try to disrupt it, maybe send somebody from 7 yards back right up the middle and just try to shoot a hole and try to disrupt a play or cause a turnover at the point of the handoff.
Yeah, a couple plays they've run here with maybe their best success is Barfus kicking out the end and Morehart following him up through the hole. This one goes directly to Barfus up the middle. Looks like on the far side, gain of about 7 on the play, so it'll bring up 2nd and 3 for the Winter Warriors from the Watchdog 7-yard line, it looks like, with 3 minutes left in this opening quarter.
And I'm sure as a coaching staff, you're sitting here right now saying, man, I wish I had 1 or 2 more guys that were like 250 pounds plus, just to plug them there in the middle, just to try to slow some of this down. We're trying to use some quickness to get around some guys, but all it is at this point, it's opening up a little bit bigger hole for them. But you got to give them credit. They've got good physical players. The running backs run hard, and so this isn't unusual for them. This is the type of territory and the type of offense they run and have had success with it for years and years, and this team is just continuing to execute it here tonight.
Little motion, gave it to Aiden Barfus there, the senior. He runs it in for a 7-yard touchdown score. They're now in that T formation for the 2-point conversion. That goes to Barfus as well up the middle. The Watchdogs are there. They are going to stuff that one. 2-point conversion is no good, so with 2:44 on the clock, the Winter Warriors lead 6-0 over the Watchdogs. Jeff, we're going to go a quick commercial break. We'll be right back with more Watchdogs.live.
Sheer Magnolia Salon and Beauty Bar offers you normal services but more. We offer haircuts for men, women, and children. Erin and Kayla are the 2 stylists. They don't have specific hours but will stay open late to accommodate families that are always on the go. Their services include full body waxing, mani-pedis, coloring, spray tanning, and more. They are your #1 choice for all things beauty. Located in Beersford, South Dakota. Call 605-763-2011 for your appointment. Sheer Magnolia.
Classics Lounge in downtown Beersford is your destination for fun with darts, pool, and to catch all the action no matter what game it is. The colder season is here. Keep your perfect golf swing by using the indoor golf simulator. From the gridiron to the court, Classics is your spot to catch all activities of Watchdogs Live. Ready to cool off with a cold one? Classics Lounge is always ready to serve them up with a bite to eat too. That's Classics Lounge in downtown Beersford.
Wilbur Ellis. Since the beginning, Wilbur Ellis has prided itself on looking forward. This relentless vision helped us grow into a multi-billion-dollar portfolio of 4 businesses focused on providing the essentials for the world to thrive. It's this tradition of always staying ahead that will carry us into the future. Wilbur Ellis. All right, kicking off here for the Warriors, it was Barfus, No, it is number 6. Keyser goes to Valder. Fake the return. Valder is going to keep it. He is being chased down. He gets free. He's got a blocker. Great block there by John DeLay.
Go!
Valder working down the sideline. He's fast. I don't think they're going to catch him. Gavo Valder returns that for about an 85-yard touchdown return. Watchdogs answer quickly. They wanted a flag down on that side for a block in the back. Keyser can't believe he didn't get the call. No flag thrown. Valder works it down the near side. The Watchdog fans are excited. It's now tied 6-6 with 2:28 left in this first quarter.
You know, I didn't see it. Maybe we got away with one, but you got to hand it to Gavel there. He caught the corner, looked like he was going to get tackled, continued to keep his stride, shook loose, and he does have the kind of speed that can break away. He's a very solid 200-meter runner for Beersford. Unfortunately here, Payton struggled there on that kick. Boy, last week he had some really nice contact on it. That one there looks like he got a little under the ball, and he just ended up hitting the crossbar and did not get through. So we're tied up with Winter. That is you know what? 2 minutes and 2 minutes and 20 seconds left in the first quarter. No, if you'd have told me we'd be 6-6 sitting here with Winter, I'd say, you know what? That's a nice start for us.
Yeah, all right. So, First Dakota National Bank. Great banking is built on trust, and trust takes time. First Dakota has proudly supported the dreams and banking needs of their customers for over 150 years. They offer personal, business, and ag banking solutions for every stage of your journey. Plus, a friendly team of professional bankers ready to put you first. First Dakota National Bank.
Boy, this team needed that. Coming off of some offensive struggles here early in the game, and just kind of the way the whole season has gone so far, you just needed a shot in the arm. And this could be one of those moments in the game where maybe Winter starts to scratch your head a little bit and say, okay, this team doesn't want to lay down like we thought they would. And, hopefully we get in a little bit of a dogfight with them here.
And, Jeff, you did kind of call this with Valder last week almost. I mean, the game was out of control. Maybe it was 21 or 28, 26, nothing. You're like, man, I hope Valder can maybe get the corner on one of these. And tonight was the night he was able to do that.
Yeah, he's a solid return guy. We had him last year back in that position. A lot of times he just got right on the edge there. It looked like he was going to pop him. So he's been good in the return game. And tonight he finally found pay dirt with it.
Okay, Valder, he's a senior, 5'11", 175 pounds.
Wow, Robert Watkins put a pop on a kid there.
On the return there was number 30, Ryan Orrell, the sophomore, 5'10", 155 pounds, and Robert Watkins met him firmly at the 35-yard line. So Winter Warriors, 2:24 here in the first quarter, still working south to north. On the camera you see it right to left. I take that back, Jeff. We do have sideline cameras now, so that was kind of our big addition last year. So as I'm kind of referencing where I think the cameras are, I never know when we're going to one of those other on-the-field shots. So
Winter going right back to work here. Another 4-yard gain, it looks like, coming from Morehart.
Yeah, Stratton Morehart, the quarterback. They've had good success with some lead backs going up the hole, and he's just following them. Gain of 5 there, 2nd and 5 for the Warriors at their own 40.5-yard line. Again, we'll have an opportunity to reference the cameras, an opportunity to kind of hit on the crew that's, again, helping us tonight. On that kind of Ronan sideline camera tonight, I believe that is Hunter Penn working that camera down on the sideline. So we'll try to bring you some of those angles. On the tackle, that was 5, Jack Stennon, also joined by Seth James. That is 6 yards, so it is good enough for a Winter Warriors first down from their own 45-yard line.
If you're a fan of old school football, going back and with the types of formations and what Winter does, you can enjoy this. It's super patient. They don't panic. They don't say, you know what, we got to start throwing the football. We're not scoring fast enough. They are so comfortable just running the ball 3 to 4 yards a crack. They don't waver. There's no reason for them to say, you know what, this team just put up 6 on us on special teams. We need to go answer quickly. They're more than happy to carry this drive out and chew up 4, 5, 6 minutes on the clock.
Motion there was Jude Sargent. Quick toss to him. The senior, 6 foot, 180 pounds, goes for 5 yards. It'll be 2nd and 5 for the Warriors near midfield.
And with winter, it's not ever seems like a rebuilding year. It's always a reloading, and it's just amazing how the offense can just continue to execute. Doesn't matter who they plug in there, but when you get the kind of size that they're enjoying right now on the offensive line, of course, it gives you some flexibility to do some things that other teams can't.
Zach Olson in motion, but they give it to number 26, the junior, Gus Bartles, 5'10", 160 pounds. He takes that for a gain of about 12 yards and another Winter Warriors first down as they put it into the Watchdogs' 38-yard line.
So, here we are again at this 1st and 10. They're chewing up the clock. Once again, I think there's an opportunity here. Maybe we send somebody on a blitz. A turnover right now is going to be crucial, because if we stay at this pace right here, they will be hitting the end zone within the next few minutes.
Yeah, that was the wingback number 6, Keyser, on the carry. Gain of about 5, maybe 6. That is double zeros, end of the first quarter. They're going to flip sides of the field here. Jeff will do a quick commercial break. We'll be back more with Watchdogs.live.
The innocence of youth. Is there anything any better? But soon they'll be in high school and facing all the same challenges you faced. How to make friends, how to fit in, how to be cool. We want our children to have everything they'll need to live fulfilling and productive lives. Make sure the kids in your family are among the more than 57,000 participants here in South Dakota who take part in high school sports or activities.
The Bridges at Beresford is the best 9-hole course in the area. You know that. The Bridges at Beresford is home to much more, including, starting next Thursday, the Thursday night special returns for the colder season. Food specials from 5 to 9. There's also the Friday happy hour for appetizers and money off adult beverages. Need room for a holiday party? There's plenty at Bridges of Beresford. Call today or find out the full details at beresfordbridges.com.
Are you stuck in a job that gives you no family life? Work for Sioux Steel and enjoy a 4-day work week. Choose from first or second shift and receive a sign-on bonus. Sioux Steel builds farm bins and livestock solutions. Sioux Steel is hiring right now for machine operators and general laborers for both first and second shift. Sioux Steel makes it easy to apply. Go to their ProTech division in Lennox for walk-in interviews Monday through Thursday from 1 till 5, or apply online at SiouxSteel.com. Join the Sioux Steel
At Northern State University, your future starts with an affordable education that's personalized for you. Experience hands-on learning guided by world-class supportive faculty. You'll also enjoy a full campus life with opportunities to choose from numerous student activities and events, all in a safe, welcoming community. At Northern, you'll find a college that's right for you, a place to belong. Your future starts here. Unleash your potential at Northern.
We all want to be happy, but sometimes that doesn't feel possible. But if you have hope, you have everything. Rising Hope Counseling provides high-quality mental health services with locations across South Dakota. Additionally, by providing telehealth, we ensure South Dakota's rural residents have access to high-quality mental health services. Our team lives and works in your communities, and we understand the unique challenges we face. Schedule an appointment by phone or online today. Rising Hope Counseling, offering hope, healing.
In times like these, it's good to know there's a place where people know who you are, no matter how long you've been gone. A place where the smells of home cooking are still in the air, where a simple wave warms your heart, and sharing stories is just a way of life. It's good to be home. Agraria Insurance Company, protecting what's important in life. Contact your local Agraria Insurance Company agent.
Ace is the place with the helpful hardware, folks.
Ace is the only hardware retailer that carries Benjamin Moore paint at over 3,800 stores. With Benjamin Moore's premium quality, you can be confident you're getting the best. You can buy in store or order what you need online for curbside pickup or delivery. When you want the best, Benjamin Moore paint from Ace at participating stores.
Find Benjamin Moore paint and other great products at your locally owned Olson's Ace Hardware in Beresford.
Fiesta Foods in Beersford is a family-owned store that offers a convenient one-stop shop where you can find everything you need, from the everyday essentials to specialty items from around the world. Find their weekly ad on their website. Fiesta Foods also has the best selection of cut meats in their deli department, fresh bakery, and fresh produce. And no matter the season or holiday, Fiesta Foods has it all right there in store. Open 7 days a week. Fiesta Foods is your one-stop store right in the hometown of Beersford.
Do you have a pest problem? Got bats, ants, termites? Family owned and operated, Olson's Pest Technicians have had over 50 years experience taking care of pest problems in places across South Dakota, Nebraska, and Iowa. Utilizing brilliant methods such as Centricon bait stations for termites and Vicane treatment for bed bugs, there's no pest too tough for Olson's Pest Technicians. If you have pest problems, call 800-KILL-BUGS.
So I do the deed, get up and leave, climb around a sadist.
All right, fans, apologize for that. As with any good broadcast, you're going to run into some technical difficulties. Jeff, let's try to get things caught up to where we were at. Right after the quarter break, they swapped the field. 32-yard line. Winter Warriors handoff. I believe it was number 6, Keyser, took it in 32 yards. Kind of went inside tackle, bounced it out to the left on the far side of the field, took it in untouched. Watchdogs do stop the two-point conversion. Malachi James with the tackle at the 2-yard line. Takes the score, Winter Warriors 12, Watchdogs 6. Kickoff there for the Warriors was Aiden Barfus, did kick it out of bounds on the far side of the field. Watchdogs get the ball at the 35-yard line. First pass, I think it was the hook and ladder. They're going to try blitz coming here. Watchdogs avoid the blitz that came, but met at the line of scrimmage, so it'll be 3rd and 10 here for the Watchdogs at their own 36-yard line.
And, Winter's got that kind of that five-headed monster they talked about in the pregame. Olson referred to it as, all these guys get different touches, and so they got a change of pace. At one point, you're trying to tackle a kid that's 6 foot, 190 pounds, and then Keyser comes in, super shifty, makes some guys miss, and he takes it all the way to the house.
3rd and 9. Watchdogs will take a timeout and talk about this big third down play from their own 35-yard line. Olson's Ace Hardware. Save on everyday essentials at Olson's Ace Hardware. From big projects to the little things that keep the peace at home, find it at your locally owned and operated Olson's Ace Hardware. Precision lawn care and irrigation. Save yourself time, money, and energy with a custom-designed irrigation system from Precision Irrigation and Lawn Care. They're fully licensed, bonded, and insured, so you'll have the peace of mind knowing that you are protected and being serviced by professionals. Precision Lawn Care and Irrigation.
I like the fact that we tried, a little bit of a gadgety play with the hook and ladder. But I think right now teams have seen that. We had some success with it last year in some big moments. The play worked. It's probably been scouted a little bit. I'd love to see something if we're going to do a little gadgety type of play and try hit a home run. You'd like to see it something that maybe hasn't been seen yet. Really where he caught, if he would have just caught the ball and secured it, that would have been a first down. So maybe there is some opportunity here to throw the football.
All right, James in motion. Option out to the left side. Svegan with nowhere to go. He is wrapped up by, I believe that's number 69 for the Warriors. Evan Bartles, the junior, defensive lineman, 5'9", 200 pounds.
We're going to go for it here. Or at least maybe we're going to at least give it. Nope, I guess we are punting.
No,
sorry.
We do have Fitzgerald with that great punt to get us at it deep in our own territory. He's going to get a chance here from their own 35. Warriors were up on the line like they were coming after it. Svegan turns around, gets a look from Fitzgerald. Snap right in his hands. Punt does get off high and kind of twisting. And another great bounce. Look at that thing go 15, 18 yards before it rolls out of bounds at the 12-yard line. Levi Fitzgerald delivering in a couple huge spots here for the Watchdogs. 10-22 here in the opening half. Winter Warriors lead 12-6 over the Beersford Watchdogs. Again, those just tuning in, Jared Olson and Jeff Boom on the broadcast.
Right now, special teams is what's keeping us in this game. We haven't had a whole lot of success offensively. We've been punting. Luckily, Fitzgerald's foot's on fire right now. He's able to put the punts. He's getting the roll. He's kicking some nice spirals, which usually lead to those big bounces and some additional yards. And so, fortunately, that the winner returner didn't go and catch it and try to retrieve it, and he decided to let it bounce, and it was fortuitous.
That was Barfus up the middle, met by Cooper Nelson on the second hit. I want to get credit to the initial contact coming out of the bottom. That's Robert Watkins with the initial contact. Gain of about 3. We'll call that a success here on first down.
Yeah, we just haven't had the last 2 weeks. We've seen some success in Millbank. The score obviously reflects it. Getting the stops, getting their punt team on the field, putting the ball back in our offensive hands. Last week, not the case. And so far this week, we have not been able to get their punt team on there. So this is a good chance for us to get a stop. Long field here, so let's see if we can get the ball back.
Little motion here to the left. They do pitch it to the big guy, Barfus. So normally we see him kind of in that kind of guard tackle range. They do work him to the far side of the field on a little toss or sweep action. Barfus does take it for a first down, so it'll be 1st and 10 Warriors at their own 27-yard line.
Well, one part of this, yes, they may get some drives on us. I've always been under the philosophy on defense, make them snap the ball. Don't give up the big play or give them the easy score. If they have to snap the ball 15 times to put it in the end zone, so be it. But every time they snap the ball, we have a chance for something bad to happen for them.
Yeah, there's the counter coming back. That did go to Keyser. Gain of 8 on the play. It'll bring up 2nd and 2 for the Warriors from their own 35-yard line.
We don't seem to have the magic pill right now for this running game. So once again, hoping to see us do something a little bit out of character. Maybe we send somebody on a cruise missile up the middle versus just kind of waiting to see what happens. We maybe need to get a little more proactive, I think, defensively. Ooh.
Yeah, there was the reverse. Almost gave up the outside contained, but Malachi James did get a hand on him, push him out of bounds.
Sean Hammerbeck just had an amazing block downfield. The proverbial pancake away from the ball, but that's winner. It doesn't matter if you're 30 yards away from the ball. They're going to come up and hit you in the mouth. And there was an example where we had somebody maybe a little flat-footed, and you pay the price, and a little intimidation starts to set in. So I think tonight's one of those nights you better keep your head on a swivel because you don't know who's going to come up and lay a hat on you.
Yeah, he did catch him 15 yards downfield. And, again, you're right. You better keep your head up on this one. That is Barfus up the middle. That is Adams and Shirk coming out of the bottom of that pile, so the 2 defensive tackles. Joe Sharp will substitute in here for Jace Adams.
Jace is coming off a little gimpy. He might have got a little twisted up in there. It looks like he's a little limpy, so let's see if he can shake that off. But it's okay. We'll get some fresh bodies in there too. So we'll keep an eye on Jace and see how he's coming along.
Yeah, he will speak to the athletic trainer, Tyler Hagan from Avera Sports. Quarterback on the carry there. He's going to go for a gain of about 15 yards on the play. Stratton Morehart, senior quarterback. Another back in the backfield taking the ball. 7:40 to go here in the opening half.
We just might have to switch into some more of a goal line type of a defense, as much as, and maybe we are about as close to it at this point. You can see that everyone's up, 3-4 yards away from the ball.
Stratton just lost his footing on that one, so loss of about 2 on the play. Again, Stratton just lost his footing. Field is in really good condition. I walked across it a couple times pregame. We'll give our crew, Dave Newman and Jan Antonsen and the entire squad. The field looks great. Precision Irrigation and Lawn Care has done a work with us with chemicals and fertilizers. So field's in great condition. Unfortunately, for Morehart, just lost his footing on that particular play.
So let's see as we continue to climb up the field here on defense. We're just getting closer and closer. And once again, winner doesn't waver. They know that we're just packing it in. Now we've just sent. There's a hold.
Okay, flag is on the field. Carrying the ball, that is Jude Sargent.
And this is what we'll see. Once again, speaking of let's send somebody up the middle Watkins came in on a blitz right over between the guard and the center gap. Kid didn't really know what to do there. I don't know who was the guilty party there on the flag, but it causes offensive line when someone comes up that you haven't seen all night, catches you off guard. What happens? You typically grab. You want to save your running back and your quarterback from a big hit. But that's one way to get this team a little off balance. Send somebody that they're not expecting, and it just might catch them either in a penalty like this, get them behind the chains, or we happen to make some contact as they're handing the ball off, or just something that's a little more disruptive. So I like the call. Hope we kind of continue this, maybe come from some angles that they're not expecting.
All right, first down, Morehart loses his footing, so loss of 1. Second down, holding penalty. Takes it back. Winter Warriors on their own side of the field again. Brings up 2nd and 21. Oh, the ball is on the ground. Watchdogs might have possibly, I think the Watchdogs might have that. Ball got loose. Morehart tried to get back down on it. Watchdog ball, 45-yard line. Second turnover forced by the Watchdogs. Out of there is big number 70, Joseph Sharp, the junior, 6'7", 260 pounds, and Watchdogs football.
Remember when we said earlier in the game, maybe this is one that maybe Winter's not completely focused, maybe overlooking us a little bit. You know, we're seeing some signs of that when you see the ball, see a fumble. Guys aren't taking care of the ball. They look a little out of sorts at times. 90% of the time they're humming right along, but that 10% is what's keeping us in the football game. And so you could see some adrenaline. We look a little more confident tonight than we have in the past too.
Okay, Malachi James in motion. Inside handoff. Get it to our trusty back, number 5, Jack Stennon, the senior, 6 foot, 185 pounds. Short gain on the play. Jeff, we're going to hit the 6-minute mark here in the second quarter. Winter Warriors 12, Beersford Watchdogs 6. Watchdogs ball, 2nd and 9 from the Winter Warriors 44-yard line.
And I don't think that Winter's going to panic at this point, so I don't want to say that they're under some sort of duress. They've been here before. This is not, just last week, going to a triple overtime with no points. So they're comfortable. They know who they are. So I don't think they're hitting the panic button, but it would sure be nice if Watchdogs could put some points on the board here and make this game very, very interesting before half.
Watchdogs back to Stedden with some backs crossing in the backfield. Gain of maybe 2, we'll call it. It'll bring up 3rd and 7 for the Watchdogs from the Winter Warrior 42-yard line. 5:20 on the clock. It's ticking.
I see Spencer Calhoun leaving the field right now, so a little more of that beef just left. It's a little warmer out here tonight. We might see some of these larger players get a little gassed, and so I think there'll be some rotations. It looks like he's just taking a breather. So there's the opportunity here to maybe gash him a little bit and get a first down, but once again, I don't like the down and distance that we're in right here.
All right, Spagan is under center. Single back, 2 wings, 1 split out to the right. Svegan will roll out to the right side. He's got a little time, and a receiver over there just chucked it out of bounds. He was trying to target number 22, John DeLay, on the play. Bring up 4th and 7 from the Winter Warrior 42-yard line.
And it's so difficult. We're asking a lot out of Ryan this year. Not a natural position for him. You could see he threw a nice ball, but not on probably where he wanted. If he could have it back, maybe he would have thrown it a little shorter and gave John a chance to catch it. But you got to hand it to Winter. They held up, even though they turned the ball over. Here comes another nice punt.
He is going to field that at the 5-yard line. Breaks 2 tackles, 3, 4 tackles, 5 tackles broken. Does come down at the 19-yard line, so that was
Keyser
pinned in the corner, and that's the other thing. Fitzgerald's getting great distance. He's also putting it against the sideline, so he had Keyser backed into that corner. He chooses to field that one from the 5-yard line, brings it out to the 19, evading Watchdog tacklers.
Now, I don't know a ton about Carson Keyser, but I saw that one run that he put up 6 points a little earlier. I don't think there was any fear in his mind, even though he was catching that ball deep into territory. I think he's got it in his mind that he could take one to the house anytime he gets his hands on the ball.
All right, 4:32 on the clock before halftime. Warriors 12, Watchdogs 6. This one, Keyser tripped up. Is that DeLay? That is John DeLay over on the right side. Gets around the ankles of Keyser. Gain of 1, 2nd and 9 for the Warriors.
And it looks like Jace Adams a little dinged up again. Pretty big collision over there, and he does not look like he's doing so good. So we're going to see Joe come back in, and maybe we get another turnover. Joe picks up another fumble recovery on the stat sheet.
All right, so we've got James, Sharp, Shirk, and Nelson as the front four for the Watchdogs. Dive, contact behind the line of scrimmage, but the Warriors keep fighting in a gain of about 3 more, so it'll be 3rd and 6 for the Winter Warriors from their own 24-yard line.
Well, you watch Barfus run. It doesn't matter when he gets hit, where it's at. That pile seems to go forward every time. You got to give Barfus credit. Big physical runner. He just is not easy to bring down. And, once you're standing up and those big linemen come to give you a push, you can pick up another yard or two just through the effort.
All right, 3:15 on the clock. Little motion, going to hand it to him. Hit by number 5 there. That's Stennen. Right at the first down markers. It's going to be a half a yard over, so the Warriors will pick up the first down there. Stennen did bring the lick, but it was just about a half yard too late.
Yeah, so Zach Olson from Winter gets the carry. Once again, they said in the beginning of the game, it's kind of a running back by committee. Lots of running backs. You're seeing new numbers in here, and everybody's getting a touch on it, and they're sure mixing it up.
Barfus hit, pops it out a little bit. Initial contact, he's still going and gains another 1.5 to 2 yards. So
he's physical.
From initial contact, eventually brought down 5 yards beyond that initial contact.
Well, he's such a big target. It looks like it's a little bit more lumbering because you see some of these other guys are so shifty, but I promise you, he is not slow and lumbering. Don't let it fool you. I think if he gets out in the open field, we'd be a little surprised on how fast Barfus could actually run.
All right, senior, 6 foot, 200-pound, number 18, Aiden Barfus. Morehart, left-handed throws, got a receiver, broken up by the Watchdog number 2, Ashton Oberly. He's a freshman out in that defensive backfield, so big play there by the freshman, number 2, Ashton Oberly.
And so, if you haven't been paying attention, over the last few years, obviously we've had Tate Van Otterloo with long-term quarterback. This year we come in, we didn't really have an heir apparent. Ashton is that heir apparent quarterback. Watching him play some junior varsity football, very poised, good thrower, heck of an athlete, and that's probably why he's earned his way on the football field tonight.
Okay, Warriors keep the ball. Oberly is the last line of defense there with Morehart coming at him. And the freshman did at least get a shoulder and arm into him and tackle him or trip him up. Warriors do want to conserve the clock that's left here.
And that's probably the danger when you put Oberly out there. Unfortunately, he had to make the tackle. You would hope that somebody would be able to wrap him up before he gets into that deep of the second level. But you got a 145-pound freshman out there with a running back that basically put his head down and decided, I'm not going to try outrun you. I'm just going to run over you. And what I did like to see there, he didn't shy away from it. He got in, put his pads down, made the tackle. He's a gamer. I look forward to the next several years. I think that next year, the way if it plays out, he stays healthy, pretty good chance that we could see him in the quarterback position, and there'll be some good production, I think, years to come through Ashton.
All right, Winter Warriors pick up the first down in that run from Morehart, the senior. Get across midfield, so they're on the Watchdog 48-yard line, we're going to call it. 1st and 10, Watchdog 48-yard line. Winter Warriors 12, Beersford Watchdogs 6. 2:06 on the clock, and the Warriors wanted a timeout to conserve clock here. Coach Ebert running the defense here. He's out talking to his squad, giving them some direction.
Well, this is an unusual position for Winter. I shouldn't say unusual, but it's a unique position for Winter because, as we said earlier, they're totally comfortable with just sitting and getting 3 or 4 yards a crack. But when you look at the clock and you see you only got 2 minutes left, you need to get chunks of yards. And we saw where they tried to throw it deep. Ashton almost got the interception, but we'll see here if they get a little greedy and decide to throw, and of course they are.
Morehart back, scrambling, looking. He's back up the middle. Brought down by Shirk, I believe, on that one. Morehart did pick up a gain of about 2 after scrambling, but he was back looking to pass on that play.
And Winter's built so much like we are. We don't have a real dynamic passing game. It looks a little clunky. Your quarterback's not going to go back do a bunch of checks and check down and look for different players. It's kind of like, well, the first guy's not open, I might just take off and run it. And so that actually works in our favor. So let's see if we can get a stop here.
Olson in motion, pitch to Barfus, hit initially at the 38, initially hit at the 42, makes his way down to about the 37-yard line. That'll be a first down for the Warriors. They are going to call another timeout with 1:16 to go on the clock.
And you give up a first down here, but it was, obviously a very physical run from Barfus, but a lot of bodies hitting him, and you see that the guys are starting to really try to pull at that football and try to get the ball back.
Yeah, check that, Jeff. My bad. I thought they called a timeout. They did actually just stop the clock to move the chains. So Warriors back under center. Quarterback keeper all the way, Robert Watkins. Down around the ankles. I want to see him come up here and make sure I've got the correct number here. That was 56. Is that James? Yes, that is James and Robert Watkins on the stop. There, the Warriors will take their timeout, so it'll be 2nd and 8 coming here for the Winter Warriors. 1 minute on the clock, and they are on the Watchdog 36-yard line. Bridges at Beersford, best 9-hole course in the area. Check. But Bridges at Beersford has so much more than that to offer. With an event center to cater for any event when you are ready to host. Contact Bridges at Beersford. Classics in Beersford. One of the great spots for a cold drink, indoor golf, or some darts. Classics at Beersford. Simplot Seeds, built from the ground up by our founder, J.R. Simplot. We have been farming for more than 90 years. Today, Simplot Grower Solutions is growing in its position as a dynamic agribusiness leader with a full suite of exclusive products, cutting-edge technology, and top-notch service. Despite our growth, we're still farmer-focused and family-run.
Well, it was really nice to see a stop there, and Morehart took quite a lick. He's a very patient quarterback. He's very good at kind of giving a little deception. He sits back there, lets the lead back come through, puts the ball in his stomach, kind of rides it. So you're not really sure who has the ball, and then he's really slick as he just kind of hops around the backside of that back that he faked it to and skirts up the field, and there was somebody right there to meet him that time.
Yeah, he just hooks himself right on the hip and stays tight. Play action pass. Receivers there. That is Malachi James breaking that up. He read it, broke on it. The receiver, is that...
Malachi James.
Yeah, the receiver, that is Olson that they were targeting over there, but it was Malachi James breaking it up. So that stops the clock with 54.8 seconds on the clock. It'll be 3rd and 7. I'm going to call it here. It's 3rd and 8 on the board. I'm going to call it 3rd and 7.
And Winter's just going to go for it. We haven't had enough success offensively. I don't think they're really worried at this point with this many yards left to turn the ball over in the event they do, but I'll be really interested to see if they run the ball here, knowing it's just down a distance.
Yeah, Barfus leading. That is Morehart. Puts his head down, gain of about 3 on the play.
And that's a safe call. I don't know what their punt game looks like. I'm going to guess based off of their record, off the past history, they're probably not a big punting team. Maybe last week in that 0-0 dogfight they were in, maybe the punt game just didn't look that good.
Yeah,
so
they're staying in their same personnel. Yep. Morehart is under center, double wing. Barfus in the backfield, motion here from Olson. Morehart does roll out. He has time. He's looking, slings it deep. Ball did tip off of the Watchdog defender. I believe that is Oberly that was in the area, and so was Gavelvalder and Malachi James. So Watchdogs do force a turnover on down, 17.1 on the clock. Watchdogs 1st and 10 from their own 30, we're going to call it 32-yard line. Winter Warriors 12, Beersford Watchdogs 6. Jeff, assistant coach Owen Renaud on the headset with the coaching staff up in the booth. They send the play in with Ryan Svegan here. Is this point where you take a knee or do you kind of take a shot?
Yeah, you're 0-2. I don't know what they'll do. I'm going to guess they're going to play it a little safe. The formation that they're in really looks like they're just going to take a knee and just be satisfied with what we've done so far this game.
Motion at Stennon.
And, of course, I'm wrong.
Going to hand it off inside. Is that James that took the inside handoff?
Looks like it, yep.
Yeah, clock is still ticking. We are going to go into halftime after that 2-yard run from Malachi James. Jensen Insurance and Real Estate, your independent insurance agency, which means we have made available some of our best companies for your insurance coverage. They service clients across the state with office locations in Beersford, Sioux Falls, and Elk Point. At Jensen Insurance and Real Estate, we work with every customer to proficiently address all your concerns. All right, Jeff, a couple quick thoughts here before we go to halftime break. We are going to have a halftime guest coming up in the booth, so we will kind of break in here maybe just after a short break. We're going to be joined by Jody Brozick, so if you want to kind of get an update, fans, on what's new with Live Ticket, we do have the founder, Jody Brozick from Winter here. He is going to join us in the booth. He's doing stats for the Winter Warriors, so he wasn't able to come up during part of the show, but he will come up here for a little halftime talk, so we'll run a few commercials. But, Jeff, quick, any thoughts before we get to that?
Well, let's just take a look back in the last two games. First game we came out, obviously we didn't score any points that game. We go into the first half of Canton, no points. Here, unfortunately, we put some points up, but it comes through the special teams. So, I think when they go into the locker room, they're really going to be satisfied with the score. I think if you had asked a lot of fans out there, whether they're from Winter or from Beersford, they probably would have said, hey, the score could get a little lopsided in the first half. Beersford's doing a good job of kind of hanging in there. And so I think until we get to the second half, we might see a little more wrinkles. We might see some trickery. We might see some gadgety plays just to see if we could maybe pull an upset off here. But Winter, of course, they've been in this position. There's some good road dogs, very physical in nature. So I think they'll get back to their ground game the second half. And they're in a dogfight.
All right, Jeff, appreciate the insight. Joined here in the booth. He's kind of getting his headset on. No stranger to Live Ticket TV, Watchdogs.live. Jody, welcome to the broadcast.
Thank you for having me. This is awesome.
All right, we're going to do just a little bit of sound adjustment here. We'll kind of get you settled in. Go ahead and grab a seat if you want. I know you've been working on some stats. They put you to work here on the sideline when you travel.
It doesn't matter if we're at home or on the road. I end up contributing in some way or another. Great thing about tonight, I don't have to do a broadcast. I can turn it over to the professionals.
Yeah, we appreciate it. So, Jody, we're probably going to bounce all over the place here. Had a chance to meet Jeff Boom. Jeff's a newcomer to Watchdogs.live, late 80s graduate. We had Easton Boom, his son, on the broadcast last year, and now he's traded spots with him as Easton went to put the pads on. It's really, this was the 1 year mark. It was a year ago. The game in Winter. We traveled out. Renee James and I were there, along with others, on the south side of the Winter Stadium. You've kind of got your live ticket set up there for Winter Warriors Live. We kind of popped around. You're like, hey, come in and take a look, and that's kind of where this started. So, it's amazing what we've done from a year from now, and some of the things we've gotten students and staff involved with. This is involved now into our curriculum that Mr. Matt Storo does. You saw the Ronin camera on the sideline. That was a new addition we were able to put in last week. Thanks to a lot of people putting a lot of work in and a few dollars behind it. But let's let you talk. Tell us what's new with Live Ticket and what things are kind of out there.
First of all, let's talk about your production. One of the funnest things that I can possibly ever experience is to watch a program like yours. We used to consider ourselves the benchmark, years ago. Now, as we've brought on schools, we've seen schools surpass the technology, the training, the involvement, and we used to have great involvement. 26 kids participating. I think with your class, you may have that number, but the technology that you guys have put in place here, I see you are taking the road broadcaster. You've expanded your audio. I think you had interviews playing pregame also. I was looking at some of the wireless cameras that you were using. Now you've got the possibility of the drone, and I'm going to help you with bringing that in also. The kids that are involved. I see some top-notch programs around the state of South Dakota. You need to be proud of yourself because right now you're definitely one of the top 3 curriculums, programs that I've seen blossom. And to see that happen in only 1 year, I walked up here and I just kind of was like, don't need me. And that's the best feeling in the world, to watch somebody to take that idea and the technology, the information that we're able to just start you with. It's a seed. And when that seed grows and blossoms and all of a sudden it's bigger than you could have ever imagined, I have a lot of pride watching this happen tonight. So
yeah, and
it's fun.
You know where the credit lands. Jeff and I get to throw a headset on and talk.
Renee,
that's not where this is at. This is with Renee James, Matt Storrow.
Yeah.
It's behind the scenes with a number of your staff in Winter and surrounding area that you've got some people working remotely as well. That's there's people that are pushing us to do more. Heath Nimke was one of them.
Yeah,
he showed us some stuff that he's doing, and he's like, "You guys got to do this. It's really not that hard." And I guess I was up here the other night. Had no idea. I'm not a technology person, Jody. I mean, I'm Bluetoothing my phone onto the road board, and I'm calling coaches at night. I'm recording interviews, the quality and the crispness, and our ability now to play that as part of a really simple pregame show. For the fans and listeners, maybe.
But what they don't see is all these young, impressionable minds that are now getting the technology that might not have been there had we not had that conversation a year ago. Yeah. I'm looking at the kids out filming. I can't remember the young man's name who was here for the inaugural broadcast.
Yeah, Gavin Stewart has been with us. Gavin has been a trooper.
He saw me come up, and I looked at him. He smiled and almost winked at me, and I'm like, "Oh, you make me so proud, Dan."
Yeah, we grabbed Gavin out of the stands that first night we set up, not really knowing what we were doing or what we needed. And we're like, "Hey, will you take the camera?" And zooming in, zooming out. That was the only camera we had going that night.
That is correct.
And, it did a great job. So, there's a lot of credit goes to people kind of behind the scenes. I appreciate the kind words. I mean, that really is kind. I feel like we're still in our infancy. Matt Storrow is really pushing us to try some new things. Renee James is saying, "You bet."
You know what's funny? I was doing the state amateur baseball tournament this summer, and Matt Storrow calls me and he goes, "Hey, man, have you ever thought about throwing a radar gun on there and having that part of your broadcast too?" So, I mean, it's not just the high school activities. It expands into the summer. He's calling me with ideas, I love when ideas come in because I am a way outside the box type guy, and obviously Renee and him have taken that. Your community, I'm going to tell you, you were a top 3 program. You might be top 2. And the other one comes from just up the interstate. Harrisburg is now kicking in again and getting back to where they were. The 2 best broadcasts I see across the state of South Dakota are coming within 30 miles of each other, and it just makes me smile. Your community has no idea what you have done for them, and it is just a beautiful production to watch. To see this unfold, I'm telling you, Jared, it just makes me proud.
Yeah, we do appreciate it. Again, it's all volunteer work. Students are not really getting anything for it. Mr. Storrow is building some of this into his curriculum. So my daughter's in his class. She's a freshman. She is going to be jumping on. And, Dad, you got to help me out. I'm like, you got it in for you. I'll help you get your hours in and get your requirement taken care of. But, Jeff, you were able to see your kid get involved in this, again, from its infancy. We don't want to drag it on forever, but maybe just give a little input of what that was like for Easton to have.
Well, and being part of the Booster Club, having some part of it to raise the appropriate funds and make all of this work, and now the vision is there.
Yeah.
And so now it's like, okay, let's go get more. Let's find another way to keep adding on to it. But it was so interesting last year. My son comes home and says, we knew that he was working with the cameras, and I didn't really know the whole story behind Live Ticket. I was exposed to it, but wasn't completely sure about all of it. And then he comes home one day and he says, "Hey, I'm going to commentate basketball." I said, "You've never played basketball in your life." And he goes, "What's the big deal? Jared's right there. All I got to do is there's traveling, there's dunking. It's like it's not that hard." But what an awesome experience it's been for him, and it really got me to go, you know what? I love that stuff. I want to be a part of it. So I'm following in the footsteps from a 16-year-old kid that didn't know anything about basketball that just jumped on the mic. And Jared was so gracious last year to have him on, and Gavin and Hunter and some of these other kids were on, and then turn the mic over to him on senior night and just let him go.
That's awesome.
And I know there were so many parents that just had a great time with that because you don't know what's going to come out of their mouth. But it sure is fun just to let him go. And if their words were a nickel, he'd be a millionaire. I know that.
Yeah, that's awesome. And you don't know where this is going to go. He may become a color guy or a play-by-play guy as he advances on into his career. The other night we had in one of our remote schools, for the first time ever, a 5th grader went on and called the play-by-play, and he absolutely sounded like he was maybe a junior or senior in high school, and he absolutely nailed it. So it's good to see what's happening here and happening everywhere. It's not just the production, the camera work, the audio. It's the announcing. And there's so much stuff that goes on. Got to give them a chance to do some interviews.
Yeah, that's coming. So football season, obviously, so early in our school year. I think this is this day 10 for us. I think maybe in school. We know that's coming. I've taken over some of the interviews. We just haven't got there a chance to practice and prepare something and get it lined up. Again, some of these are happening at 8, 9 o'clock at night when the coaches are available. So we will get there, and we will see more of that. You did reference Harrisburg. I mean, I know Live Ticket has expanded a little bit up and down the interstate. Can you maybe take the listeners through, maybe some of the new schools or some things that you guys are looking to do? And again, the beauty of, I tell people, Live Ticket, one, it's free. Two, if we're playing somebody that has Live Ticket, you can still go to watchdogs.live and see that game. Know where to find it. You don't have to go hunting around.
Right. The beautiful thing about this system when we designed it is it's meant for home productions. We are all about content sharing. So it takes so much. You talked about the volunteer work that goes into this, and people don't know the amount of energy and anxiety that happens when you're putting on one of these productions. To take them on the road, I did it for years, but the whole goal was let's make this South Dakota proud. We're up to 117 participating schools out of 155 in the state of South Dakota. And if everybody does their home games, every single event is going to be covered, whether it's high school athletics or activities. You've got coronation, you've got graduation. But if everybody just covers their home events, then everybody can go to one site, and you could be all the way across the state. I'm in winter all the time, and I'm sitting there watching these games happen, and I'm bouncing around SD scores. I find out, oh my gosh, there's a 9-0 game. I gotta go take a look at this. And then you see what's going on for the broadcast. I forget about the game, and I start looking at what they're doing with the technology, and I'm like, man, I am just one foolish guy that may have gotten it right and letting everybody participate in this. But back to what you were saying, I want everybody to I want it to be simple for your fans to go find. It is about going to your website, and whether it's home or away, these participating schools, they do their broadcast. It comes right to your website. You don't have to go searching. We've got the app, we've got the website, you've got your website. It just makes it simple for people to go find things, and that's what's really fun. Participating schools here in the area, just in this area, you got to take a little credit for this, okay? You've got Alcester Hudson that's now on, Irene Wakanda, Viborg Hurley, all these programs right here in this area that were able to see what you were able to do in 1 year. And they're like, okay, we may not do it that way, but we can do this. It's doable. So the expansion here in the southeast corner of the state of South Dakota has just been phenomenal, and we actually saw it start going up into the northwest or northeast corner of this state. I really believe that probably by next year you'll probably see darn near 90-95% of the schools participating. The ones that weren't able to this year, it was just a matter of timeline. School budgets, you go into that July 1st budget, and there's a lot of different things going on. But of the ones that we don't have on, a lot of people are talking about coming on. And I talked about the system. It can be as big as you want it, as what Beersford has done here. Your production can be this expansive, or it's unique enough that you could pack it up and take it on the road for your SODAC 16 games, your playoff football games, and you have to go. When you get to that point, you got to go, and it's got to be your production. And the beautiful thing is most schools are willing to let you share a production from in the playoffs when it really is important. They want to hear you two talking. You can do that, and other schools will let you do that.
Yeah.
Here I am rambling.
Yeah, no, you're good. You're good. Renee said if you put Jody on, he's going to talk through the whole thing.
Renee,
I said I'm good with
I'm not a talker.
We did. That was another example you referenced. The playoff game a year ago. We were able to host the first round. We had never packed our stuff up and taken it on the road. And he's like, if I can get you a booth space, will you go? And, we're kind of like, I don't know. Heath is like, okay, we're going. It's like,
that sounds like
okay,
Heath.
yeah, we have jumped off the high dive. I guess we're going. And for those schools out there that are listening, it is very doable. It does take a little bit of coordination, a little bit of work, but it is very doable. We got 50 seconds on the clock. I think, are they going to set 3 more minutes on for us?
Yeah, they will.
Yeah, we'll get another 3 minutes, I think. I'm not a salesman, but I want you to maybe tell any potential business owners that maybe looking to get how do you help a business owner that's maybe thinking about jumping on Live Ticket? How do we equate, the value that they're getting or what the fans are seeing in their local area, or they can choose a number of schools, 2 schools, 5 schools, wherever their business may reach in an area, they can target that. How does a business owner understand value that comes from these relatively small, simple productions?
First of all, you have one of the best representatives that I've ever brought on here in your area. Heath Nimke is the territory development manager. He's got a background in broadcasting, which I think you've really kind of formed that bond with Heath. He's brought some technology to you, but he also understands the value of this program for your community because he's worked in radio. This program was meant to be a win-win-win scenario, so what people have to realize is we try to get as much of the money back into the school program from any sponsorship that you possibly do. We want it back in the school system, and you can call 833-605-5483, 605-LIVE. It's extension 4, and you can get Heath Nimke at any time, and he can go through this with you. But the value of this program, when you take a look at the cost, and I really don't want to offend anybody out there, but Heath was in radio. He knew the cost of radio broadcasting versus what this does and what this does for the school system. Educational funding is so hard to come up with in today's appropriations, the budgets. This gives you an opportunity to not only be a win by helping the student athletes get the exposure that it's your narrative, it's you guys talking about your kids, giving them the PR that they deserve. It's the family, friends, and alumni that can't be here that can watch this on a daily basis. They win with that. It's the fans that are not from here that get to watch your production, and they don't necessarily have to travel, or if they can't, they can watch it. And then you start looking about the opportunities that we're providing, and I know I'm running out of time now. Kids to go on with us after high school. We've got 29 different people that are working for us. But back to the sponsorships, and it is about the funding. That's a big portion of this for me. It has to go back to the schools. It's got to fund these programs. It's got to help them out. And he took a look, and we compared it to radio broadcasting sponsorships, and we are well under what anything out there is. And you take a look at print advertising right now. This is we actually have 7 different levels of sponsorship. You may think you're not able to do this. I promise you there's something that fits in your budget if you want to give back to the Beersford Watchdogs. It will find that niche. You talked about buying 1, 2, 3 schools. Well, the other thing that happens is you've got a wonderful, beautiful business sector here in this town, beautiful community. They have an opportunity if they want to expand, and it's a striving business here, but they know they're pulling people from other areas here into town. You can, for a really big discount, add another school. You can go out to Elsas or Hudson, Lennox at Canton. You can go to Vermilion. You can expand out. So this becomes a huge win for those sponsors also. In today's economy, and this is the mayor and me coming out, you absolutely have to do whatever you can to stretch that advertising dollar. So you're helping this business get exposure. You look at your numbers of the people that are watching your productions. I'm telling you, you can't beat what you offer. And we're at kickoff, and I'm going to apologize right now for this.
You've got to go. I know that you do. I know that. Jody, we could sit here and talk for an entire other quarter. I know you do need to get back.
Renee's kicking me out,
too. You do need to get back to work. We really appreciate you taking the halftime with us, giving a little update on Watchdogs.
Hey, you have no excuse for not
ticket.
Calling me now because you have the road broadcaster. We could do this interview
anytime. Yeah.
Jody, it has been my pleasure meeting you also.
Okay, fans, back at Cortland Card Stadium, Beersford High School, Winter Warriors 12, Beersford Watchdogs 6, start of the third quarter. Again, we appreciate Jody Brozick from Winter Warriors Live Ticket TV joining us, giving us a little update. Watchdogs did take the ball first to start the game, so it is the Winter Warriors ball. On the return, that was number 5, Olson, I believe. Yeah, Zach Olson on the return. He brings it out to their own 39-yard line. Winter Warriors take over 1st and 10 from their own 39-yard line. All right, Jeff. Okay, that really ran on, but we know Jody. He's great. We love him. He came our very first game. We played in winter a year ago. He came the very next week for our first broadcast, did the play-by-play. We had a blast. Miscommunication there from the Winter Warriors. Quarterback Strad did run into the back. He quickly, like a good senior does, turned around and made 5 yards out of nothing there.
Yeah, like we said a little bit, there's something a little off at times. That they've seem to be a well-oiled machine, and then you'll just have a small breakdown. And I don't think that it's necessarily the kids. This is a little bit of a complex offense when you look at it. It looks pretty simple when you're like, well, all they're doing is just running the ball up the middle. But you've got running backs crossing, and quarterbacks got to turn left or right. And sometimes all of that misdirection, you can get a little lost in that. And there's times where maybe the running back should have went right or left, or Stratton in there, he maybe turned left and just kind of got lost in for a moment. And so that just could be one where it was a little bit of miscommunication. But, we're seeing right here, they're still getting chunks of yards just as they want to, and we'll see if they keep it on the ground.
Great play there on that last down. Saw run play, and John DeLay came from kind of his right cornerback spots, crashed in hard, made the tackle around the ankles. Winter Warrior does take it to midfield. They're right at the 50-yard line. They do pick up the first down, so it's 1st and 10 Warriors midfield. Again, just starting the third quarter, Jared Olson and Jeff Boom on the call. Assisting us on the technical side tonight, we do have Owen Hieronymus, his first production here on the computers. Renee James helping us out as well, and then running cameras, Gavin Stewart and Hunter Penn. So again, we thank the crew. That is Barfus up the middle, makes 3 guys miss. Falls forward, gain of 9 on the play. Maybe it's a long 8. Bring up 2nd and 2 here for the Warriors after the Barfus run.
Well, Winter right now, they understand, we're not a high-powered offense. We haven't been all year. We haven't been really able to put points on the board quickly. So I think that they're feeling it right now. If they can go in and hang another touchdown on us, they start to feel like maybe they're sealing the game a little bit. So I think they're running a little harder and a little more determined. It's really important at this point that we get a stop and don't give up another 6.
Motion there from Keyser. He does take the little pitch, runs it around the left far side of the field. First down for Keyser. Be 1st and 10 Winter Warriors from the Watchdog 37-yard line. Warriors quick up to the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, they're getting a little momentum, getting a little tempo here. You can see they're speeding it up. They kind of feel like we're on our heels. Nice blitz there up the middle. Unfortunately, we ran right into a pulling guard, and they picked up the block and, of course, picked up another few yards there as well.
Really nice play for number 29, Jude Sargent, the senior, 6 foot, 180 pounds. He was looking to bounce that thing out and kind of saw that was getting stuffed up, and he just quickly jumped inside.
Well, and Watkins came on a blitz. And unfortunately, they had a guard that was pulling, and it ran right into him. So sometimes the timing on those blitzes don't always go your way, but I'd really like to see us continue to do it.
Fake the dive. Morehart keeps it. He runs into the Watchdog defender. That is Valder. It's going to be close to a first down. No, they do signal. That is a first down. Move the chains. So Morehart takes it for a first down. 1st and 10, Winter Warriors from the Watchdog 26-yard line.
You're just coming out of the halftime break. One team seems to be humming right along. We seem to be a little on our heels. I think right now we need a senior or a leader somewhere in here to make a big play to get this momentum turned around a little bit.
Keyser, gain of about 7 on the play.
Taken down by DeLay and James at the 20. 2nd and 3.
And right now, as it's going, they're able to bring that running back by committee in, and it's hard. When you're on the defense and you're used to a big, powerful back kind of running and imposing his will on you, so to speak, and all of a sudden they hand it off to somebody else who's really quick and shifty. You wouldn't think it would be that big of a deal, but it makes it difficult. And you see these running backs right now are stacked up almost right on top of each other. They're not hiding anything at this point. They're just going to say, hey, we're just going to hand it off, and let's just see if you guys know how to stop us.
Yeah, that was Jude Sargent, ran over his own blocker, regathered his own feet, and then took out a Watchdog. First down for Sargent. Be 1st and 10 for the Warriors from the Watchdog 19-yard line. Watchdog 14-yard line.
Once again, like I said, if you like old school football, you can appreciate what you're seeing here tonight from Winter. They run this running game very efficiently. Here's a short gain, but overall they've been able to kind of manage 3 or 4 yards of crack. Kind of reminds me back of the football coach of old here at Beersford with Jim Heron. Loved the 3 yards in a cloud of dust. Really like to have a well-executed running game. If you threw the ball 5 times a game, it was almost like a miracle. But it was effective when it was well executed, and right now Winter is demonstrating a very well-oiled running game, and it's just fun to watch.
Joe Sharp with a nice stop from his defensive line position. That's Barfus up the middle. He does move to the left as a Watchdog defender came. That is going to be a 14-yard touchdown run for Aiden Barfus.
When you got a big physical runner like that, you almost hate to see him run in untouched because it's almost too easy. He would almost prefer to probably run somebody over before he went in the end zone as well, but we just haven't quite been able to figure out that misdirection and these fake handoffs, and this is where staying at home is wildly important, and maybe we over-pursued a little bit there.
Quarterback's going to keep it. He does lunge. I believe he gets it. Yes, that is good enough for the 2-point conversion. Moorhart runs that one in. Winter Warrior 20, Beersford Watchdogs 6. Burt Sports Bar and Grill, daily specials that include something new all the time. Check them out on Facebook. Plus, Burt's in the Beer Garden is your destination to find all Watchdog activities with live ticket TV.
So let's assume that we field the ball cleanly here and we get some positive yards on the kickoff. Now you're at that point in your season. You're down 20-6 against a very, very good Winter football team. If you could pull off some sort of an upset here, scoring a touchdown is almost imperative on this drive just to keep the fans involved, to keep the momentum going on the sideline and keeping everybody interested. So this is one where, quite frankly, a gadget play or two, I don't want to say you get desperate, but right now you've got a chance. You know that you've got a very good football team to beat, so you can start to roll the dice here a little bit. You haven't been able to put positive yards on consecutively, play after play, so it just might be a time where we just run something a little gadgety. We tried one earlier in the game. We tried to do a little bit of a screen. I think that screen that went out of bounds was actually going to be a pass or 2 passes. I think it was going to reach the wide receiver and then he was going to throw the ball. Maybe we roll something out like that on this drive just to see if we can pick up kind of a cheap score on them.
Keys are set to kick off here for the Warriors. They're up 20-6 over the Watchdogs. 6:22 to go in this third quarter. Redesign Antiques Beersford, located in historic downtown Beersford, South Dakota. They have over 4,000 square feet of floor space filled with antiques. There's something for everyone to find. Redesign Antiques in Beersford.
Last week what we saw was a little bit of the same type of problem here, just fielding the kickoffs. Probably something we should focus a little bit more on the practice, and for some reason we're trying to catch that ball with our hands up close to our face mask, and some of those types of kicks, as much as I like to catch the ball with my hands, sometimes cradling that ball in that form of a catch keeps your eyes a little bit more downfield so you can see if somebody's coming. But when you don't catch those clean, boy, it makes it real easy for the kickoff team to come down and cover it well.
All right, Jeff, an opportunity for the Watchdogs to make their halftime adjustments. Let's see what they do. They kick it outside to Stennon, I believe, worked on the far side of the field. He is wrapped up by a Warrior. Gain of 3 on the play, so bring up 2nd and 7 here for the Watchdogs.
What's interesting to me this entire year, we've got the skilled position players. We have some speed. You just have to come to a track meet, and you can see that some of the players that we have that carry the ball, they have some speed, and we just have never found the edge and turned the corner on some of these outside runs. And it really surprises me because you think that we would be able to hit one from time to time, but for whatever reason, we just seem to not be able to turn the corner and just get 1 or 2 yards out of it.
Quick dive up the middle there defensively is number 70. And I believe that's 73. Yep, 70 and 73 come out of that one. So number 70 is Spencer Calhoun. Coach Olson talked about him, 6'9", 315 pounds. And number 73, Noah Best, the senior 6'3", 255 pounds.
So I would imagine here we're probably going to do something in form of a pass play, and unfortunately, probably the Winter defense understands where we're at and probably expecting the same thing. But this might be one I wouldn't mind seeing us drop back and maybe do some sort of a quarterback draw, see if we can pick up a first down here.
Svegan under center. Play action, running, rolling right. Nobody over there. I don't see a receiver over there. So Svegan got rid of it. He was under pressure. Bring up fourth down. Watchdogs look like they're bringing in the punt squad. Muller CarQuest and Parts. At Muller Auto Parts, customer service is driven by independent owners who are passionate about delivering excellence in everything they do. This dedication is enhanced by best-in-class product and experienced parts professionals. Muller CarQuest and Parts.
Yeah, I think Ryan maybe got a little under pressure there. It looked to me more like maybe he was just trying to avoid the sack and just get the ball upfield and try to throw it out of bounds. And whether he was getting enough pressure or maybe got some contact, he didn't get the ball out there because we didn't have a receiver out there. Fortunately, it didn't end up in an interception. But not getting substantiating anything there on that particular drive. This is going to hurt. This offense right now is humming along. So, we have to throw something, maybe the kitchen sink at them here and cause some sort of a turnover to keep us in this game, because if they can come down, chew up the rest of the clock of this quarter, put another 6 points up, that could be a nail in the coffin for us.
Yeah, another great punt there by Levi Fitzgerald. Puts it down into the Winter Warriors 33-yard line. 4:44 to go here in the third quarter. Winter 20, Beersford 6. Winter has scored on 3 running plays, only converted on 1 of the extra point attempts, 2-point conversion attempts. Watchdogs score roughly here was about an 85-yard kickoff return that Gavel Valder took to the house.
And that's been a highlight. That's we've done some things as far as getting turnovers. First time we've done that all year, so that's all positive. This is one going back to what we were talking about before. These running backs run extremely hard. They don't go down easy. You stack them up, and they keep kind of spinning, trying to get that extra yard. That's when we really need to come in there and just strip at that ball. I'm sure most teams are trying to do the same thing, and these running backs are used to it, but that's going to be the key for us to get the ball back, because right now we don't seem to come up with stops, so we just really got to go in there and scratch and claw at that football and try to get it back.
Yeah, Barfus, 11-yard carry, Winter Warrior first down, 1st and 10 from their own 44-yard line. Again, quick, back to the line of scrimmage. Motion, quick pitch to Olsen. He's going to bounce it outside. Valder's trying to pin him in. Does take a nice big swipe at it, though, as he's bringing him down. But Olsen does run out of bounds at the 35-yard line, so Winter Warriors first down. They swap sides of the field here, and they are back into Watchdog territory.
And this is what we talked about in the beginning of the game. Got to do your job. The whole left side of the defense kind of collapsed, probably trying to take one of those lead backs, thinking the ball was getting handed off. And this is where you have to have trust in your fellow defensemen. If you think that you have to make the tackle yourself, causes you to get out of position, and it opens up those types of plays.
Okay, motion, pitch to the back. That is number 6, Keyser on the carry. Gain of about 5 on the play, so it'll bring up 2nd and 5 here for the Warriors.
So I think at this point, this is the time where we're just going to have to, like I said, send the old kitchen sink. Maybe do what they call a double A gap blitz, where you bring 2 linebackers in right over the center, and let's just see if we can cause a turnover. But right now, coach seems to be patient and just kind of line up with them, and just let them run the play, and we just don't seem to have an answer for it right now.
All right, we talked about sometimes just being thrown into the deep end of the pool here, Jeff. That's what we're going to do, all right? We're going to go into the deep end of the pool. We've got a third headset here. We've got this thing on. It's unmuted now, so it's live. But we have with us here is Owen Hieronymus. Owen, welcome to the broadcast.
Thank you.
Yeah, okay. Owen, you're 7th grader here at Beersford Middle School, jumping on the production tonight. Why don't you talk us through kind of what you're doing and seeing on the screen there?
I'm just doing the scores and the camera angles.
Okay, so working on switching from one camera to the other camera. You're taking us in and out of commercial breaks when we do those. And then also you have to change the graphic on the score that the fans are seeing. So those are the things that you're learning here tonight as Mrs. James is teaching those pieces, correct?
Yes.
All right, awesome. We're going to leave you on the head, so you're good with that for a little bit, Owen?
Mm-hmm.
You can kind of keep doing your job. We're going to kind of come to you here in a minute because we might throw you in for a live read here with one of our sponsors. How's that sound?
Okay.
Okay, I'm going to give you a chance to take a look at it because it's coming up here. This is one that you're going to read in a minute, okay? All right, you take the light. Not right now. I'll tell you we're going to do our sponsor read, and you're going to do this one right here. You got it? Mm-hmm. All right, Jeff, where are we at here? Winter Warriors. They are first and goal from the. They're moving it back from the 4-yard. First and goal from the 4-yard line. 1:10 to go here in this third quarter. Winter Warriors 20, Beersford 6. Again, 1:10 to go here in the third. We do have a little timeout here, so let's go ahead and get that read here, Owen. Bring us that sponsor read.
Sue is locally owned and operated in Beersford, South Dakota, USA, and has become a leading supplier of industrial water and solution heaters. The industry leader in all-electric explosion-proof pressure washers and steam cleaners around the world, and a top manufacturer of portable steam generators.
Sioux Corporation in Beersford. All right. Know anybody out at Sioux Corp?
Yeah, my dad.
Okay, all right. So we picked that one for you specifically, all right? All right, good job, Owen. Thank you for helping us with that sponsor read. We're going to keep you on the mic for a little bit here. You still got to do your job, okay? All right, Jeff, coaching staff's kind of talking to each of their groups here. First and goal from the 4-yard line. We're going to see the run of the ball from here from the Warriors, but
for sure, there's no reason for them to put it in the air at this point. They've had success, and so, I'm sure coach is telling them, hey, let's check our intestinal fortitude. Let's see what we've got, and right now it looks like they scored.
All right.
And just to go in there and pack it in the way that we have, if we haven't had that much success stopping them. And here's the thing with Winter. They've been in this position. They're really good at putting teams away. If you think back to like the old Nebraska football teams, run the ball down someone's throat, and then eventually you just get to the point where you're wearing them out and you're putting some points up. And the longer that they hold on to the ball and continue to make these drives and keep it out of our hands, it gives us less opportunity to score.
All right, running the ball there. That is number 29. Jude Sargent takes it in for the 2-point conversion. All right, Owen, we're going to go to a commercial break here. You're going to take us to the commercial. Then we come out of the commercial. You're going to read our next sponsor read-in, okay? All right, Owen Hieronymus, take us into a commercial. So I'll kind of get the music and all.
Eastway Auto Service. Our teams of highly trained and certified technicians are here to serve you. From oil changes to complex computer diagnostics, our staff is here to do what it takes to maintain your car. We are also certified to maintain new car warranties, so you can rely on us to be your one-stop service center.
All right, Eastway Auto Service. Thanks again, Owen, for helping us with that sponsor read-in. Okay, Winter Warriors 28, Beersford Watchdogs 6, 1:04 here to go in the third quarter.
Certainly not an unusual. Oh, my. I think we just turned the ball over on the kickoff.
Yeah, that was a high, short kickoff. They are signaling Watchdog ball, so they are signaling Watchdog ball.
And for some reason, once again, we struggle with the kickoffs. And so this is something that we definitely need to work on if we're going to stay in football games going forward. Those are, the kick was short. It was up high. Someone's got to run underneath that. And a good plan or strategy on those types of kicks someone should come up underneath it, raise their hand, call for the fair catch so you're not worried about getting hit, and then you just focus on the catch. But we let that one slip. You get in this point in the night, the grass gets a little slippery. That ball will do some really weird things when it hits, and a lot of times it just dies right where it's at, and it gets dangerous when that ball is just sitting there spinning. So you just got to, that's one of those little things we can clean up.
Okay, gain of 1 here for the Watchdogs on that play. Got a Watchdog down, maybe a potential cramp here, maybe.
Looks like a cramp, yep. And that'll be Ryan.
That is Svegan, the quarterback.
So we get to see what we look like for a backup quarterback. I don't know what the plan is right now, but I'm going to guess probably John DeLay maybe, but he's just been pretty new to the offense, so it'd be a little shocked. But looks like Ryan's going to be okay, maybe get a little electrolytes in him and get him back out there. But we'll have to take a snap at least with somebody. So it looks like they're going to do a practice. We're going to bring Ashton in. Like I said, we got the heir apparent quarterback. Going to bring in Ashton Oberle, freshman. And so let's see if we're going to do a throw. He's probably going to be more of a thrower. I'm sure right now the defense is probably licking their chops, love to get their hands on him, but I'm sure he's going to get the ball out of his hands quickly.
That was a quick release. It does go to Stennin, but pretty intimidating as a freshman.
For sure.
Under center in a big game here. You got a bunch of 300-pounders across the line from you, and you've got 4 receivers to the left, 1 receiver out to the right, empty backfield. There's really nobody there for you. Nice job taking the snap, quick delivery, didn't rush it, found the senior Stennin and let Stennin run it, and
yeah, and this is really good experience, even though maybe it's only be a handful of plays, but just to be under the lights in front of the crowd, see how he reacts. This is something that he will remember. And he's been there before when it finally becomes his turn to do it. And you just never know when your number is going to get called. And on that last play, I love the play call. I wish we would do a lot more of that. Coaches may not like to hear it, but I just like that safe toss out there. It's kind of like a running play, but it gives the playmaker a chance to make the play. And that particular play there, I'd love to have seen Jack take it to the outside. Sometimes it's your normal reaction. They catch it and just go. But a little patience right there. Let those blocks set up. Maybe take the look at the inside. Maybe give you a hard jab step to look like you're going to run to the inside, and then pop it outside and try to get some more yards. But those are the types of plays. If you don't run that consistently, you don't get those looks. And so the receivers haven't seen how those blocks kind of materialize. They become a little impatient, and that's where we maybe could have had a little bit bigger play there. But those are things you can continue to work on in practice. But here on a game like tonight, you need to score. Let's see a little bit more of that type of action, and maybe we find some rhythm here with a little bit of a short passing game.
So as the quarter was winding down, Oberle did come to the sideline, gave a 5 to assistant coach Owen Ronaldo, calling plays in. As they walked and swapped sides of the field, low snap, Oberle gets it, gets rid of it, kind of lived to play another down here. I know it was third down. Things happen fast there. Yeah. Low snap, not much he could do with it. But assistant coach Ronaldo was talking to Jack Stennin as they crossed the field, maybe making comments like you were referencing of just kind of seeing what was there. Oberle did what he could there, not much when the ball came near his ankles, but got rid of it. 4th down here for the Watchdogs, and Fitzgerald hopefully can pull off another big punt here for the Watchdogs. Does get another pretty good one against the sideline.
A little bit of a knuckler, last couple punts that he had nice spiral. And when you get that spiraled punt, that's really where you get your, whether it's your height, but you'll get your distance. So unfortunately, earlier tonight, he was getting some height and some depth. But that spiral a lot of times will get you that big hop, and then the ball will tumble downfield. So overall, he's had a pretty good night. He struggled a little bit last week in the wind, but we seem to have a good punter, and unfortunately, we're seeing too much of him tonight. But you're right, Ashton. Too bad that snap came in at his feet, and he just said, "Hey, just got to get this out of my hands and avoid the sack." A little bit dangerous to just throw it in the middle of the field, but you're right. What do you do at that point? You're just trying to stay alive with these 6'9", 300-pounders coming at you.
Watchdogs creeping up on the line. They sent Watkins again. Warriors run it inside the tackle and bounce it outside. Gain of about 12 on the play, so it'll be another Warrior first down, 1st and 10 from their own 47-yard line. Johnson Heating and Cooling, located between Beersford and Vermilion. Family-owned business serving all of southeast South Dakota and surrounding areas. They specialize in heating, cooling, and geothermal service and installation. Ask them about lifetime unit replacement warranty with quality in every degree. Johnson Heating and Cooling.
So, Jared, let me ask you a question. If you're on the sideline, you're kind of thinking about, I'm a little hungry. I'm wondering what I'm going to make when I get home. And all of a sudden you see Ryan Swagan on the field, and all of a sudden they call your number. Hey, you're going to go in. A little caught off guard. You're not warmed up. You come in. You know that you're a 145-pound freshman quarterback. And I'm looking across the line. I'm 6'4", 225, and I'm looking over at 6'9", 310. I'm getting the ball out of my hands as quick as I possibly can as well. I don't want that guy hitting me. We're talking twice the size. So I'm just glad that Ashton got off the field without getting hurt after that last play.
Yeah, really the first play, again, great job. Calm, it appeared under pressure. Delivered it out to the left side of the offense. Got it into the senior Stennon's hands. And on the second play, where he had an opportunity, again, not much he could do, but he could have easily fumbled or kicked it around.
Yep.
And he calmly picked it up. Saw a receiver, threw it at him, wasn't able to complete the pass, but again, didn't throw it away, didn't kick it around, and was able to get the Watchdogs into 4th down.
Yeah, like I said, those JV games, he has some poise. There's some promise there for the future, and he seems like he's got a good command, and from what I understand, he's a pretty good teammate too. So I'm excited for that. Right now I'm not loving the body language that I'm seeing on the football field. We've got some guys with their hands on their hips from time to time. Now it looks like we're doing some communication and we're some counting. I think winner here is actually we're going to see a punt for the first time tonight. So congratulations, Beersford Watchdogs. We got the stop. We needed one pretty bad. I think winner's okay with actually punting one tonight based on the success that they've had. But a return here would be fantastic.
Yeah, 4th and 2, and Barfus goes back to punt it. And nice job there by Stennon. He fielded it cleanly in the air. Body was already moving to the south, in other words, moving in the direction he wanted to go. And pretty nice return. He's fielded that about the 5-yard line. He brought it out to, the 23? So net gain of 18-yard return there for Stennon.
Well, and you can see right there, a little bit of a spin, a little shifty, gets those extra yards. So you can see we have playmakers that can make some of those big plays, make some guys miss, break some tackles. We just haven't really found a way yet to get them out into open space and to let those playmakers make plays. And I don't know if it's a matter of these teams that we're facing are just that fast, but you got to hand it to the defenses. They have really contained us all year, and here we are with another mistake.
Yeah, Oberle still under center, so they're giving him an opportunity here in the 4th quarter with 9 minutes and ticking on the clock. Winter Warriors up 28-6 over the Watchdogs. Snap was just mishandled. Went down on a knee to pick it up and then pitched it to the back, but he was already down with the knee on the ground, so the referee in the back was pointing down, and loss of a few, so to bring up 2nd and 13 here for the Watchdogs from about their own 20-yard line.
Yeah, and it looks like Swagan is okay. They might just be saying, hey, let's just let him go ahead and do this. I'd be surprised if Swagan doesn't come back in here soon enough. But I like the fact that we're leaving him out there. Look at this. He makes a really nice pass.
Nice touch, and Valder escapes 2 tacklers, works out to the 45-yard line. Little play-action pass. Oberle rolls out to the right side, which a right-handed thrower you would expect. He had 2 Warrior defenders coming at him. They kind of froze in the middle. He lightly tosses it over top of them, puts it right in the hands of Gavel Valder crossing the field. Valder connects on that one, takes it out to the 46-yard line for a Watchdog first down.
And just to be able to, that will tell you the confidence that they have in Ashton, to give him a play, to let him roll out, give him some options on where to throw the ball. He's got a really nice touch on the ball. The ball looked nice. It obviously was right on target. He seems completely comfortable out there right now doing what he's doing, and it's just so nice to see a freshman go out there with the poise. I remember go back to my sophomore year, standing on the sideline, backup quarterback. Brandon Valley was absolutely thumping us. and they called my number and told me to go out there. I was responsible for 6 points. It just happened to be for Brandon Valley because on the very first play, the ball went up in the air. The pulling guard caught it, then he was tackled. I think the next one went in the air again. I think I caught it, and then I was tackled. And then the third play, I found pay dirt. It just happened to be in the form of a jersey in white, red, and black, and watched him take it to the house.
All right, Watchdogs, 2nd and 8 here from their own 48-yard line. Oberly, play action pass. Ball is tipped at the line of scrimmage. That is number 88, I believe, on that one. That is Sean Hammerbeck, 6'7", 245 pounds. Oberly just didn't quite clear him to get that little toss over.
Yeah, he was looking over at Malachi James. I think Malachi might have slipped, but overall, I think he had his receiver picked out. And, yeah, obviously with the height that Ashton has right now, it's going to be a little bit of a challenge with the guys that are out there that are 6'4" and higher. So you have to put a little loft on the ball to get it over him, and that's not really the throw there where you want to get air under it. Needs to be a little bit more of a bullet pass. So I'm glad that he took the trajectory, get it batted down. I think if he would have put that any higher, it probably would have led to an interception. So really poised by, oh my.
3rd and 8, Watchdogs get the ball to James. He is hit in the backfield. Ball gets loose. I believe we just called his number, 88, Sean Hammerich.
We've got a player down too. Looks like it's Jack Stenen. Not really sure. Maybe ended up in a little bit of the bottom of the pile. I don't know if I'm not sure if you saw, Jared, the way that they came through. I don't know if it was a missed block or if they ran a blitz. I was maybe paying too much attention to what was going to go on in the backfield, but very big collision back there. Hopefully Jack's okay, but Malachi, as soon as it hit his hands, 2-3 winner Warriors there to kind of blow that play up, and it obviously turned into 6 points the other way.
Yeah, Watchdogs looking to on 3rd and long, 3rd and 8. Looking to keep it on the ground. Again, just a little bit of crossing action, and it did appear that maybe somebody was missed. Play was blown up in the backfield. Not a lot that Malachi could do with it. Ball was on the ground. 3 Warriors were there. I believe it was Sean Hammerbeck, the junior, that picked it up and ran it in. So winner Warriors 34, Beersford Watchdogs 6. 6:54 to go here in the game.
Well, I'd be a little surprised if we don't start to see some, as I say, clean jerseys coming out here for winner after this 2-point conversion try. They seem like they would have the game at hand, obviously, with the minutes that are left and the score. Brought in a new quarterback here for this particular play.
That is Olson on the 2-point conversion. Motion right to left, takes the ball, cuts it back up in the middle of the offense. Does run that one in. In at quarterback was that
Quincy Phillips,
number 8.
And that's, here's another example. They got a sophomore quarterback, 6'3". There's just a lot of rangy players on that winter football team. And anyone that talks to me about football, I love tall, rangy types of players on the team, regardless of what position it is. Running back, DBs, typically you're going to find somebody a little shorter, but I like tall, physical DBs. Running backs, you can kind of have a mixed blend, and they've got, a great one there in Barfus at 6 foot tall, longer type of player, maybe running, you can maybe have a habit of running a little higher at that type of a height, but he's good at getting his pads down and delivering the shots. And physical attributions that your players have, you can't change that. If you've got 5'8" players, that's what you have. And winter, something in the water there apparently, because there's just height all over the team, and they're definitely imposing their will, but also just the physical attributes of being the longer, rangier players definitely has given them an advantage against us, and they're using it against opponent after opponent. Tonight, this is the score. This is where winner usually ends up at the end of the night. They're just able to put points up on the board and not give up a whole lot.
Yeah, Watchdogs hang in there 12-6 at halftime. Very respectable first half for the Watchdogs, and played well here in the second half as well. Just a few bounces that went our way in the first half, didn't go our way in the second half, and Warriors just kind of creep out and get a few more there. Beersford Chiropractic has you covered if you hurt something or anything slips out of place. Find out more by checking out their Facebook page, Beersford Chiropractic.
So it looks like we've got some new numbers out there for winter, kind of what we expected. They're going to let some other players get some reps here, which is smart on their part. You want to keep your seniors, your juniors, your starters healthy. They put in the work tonight. They definitely have nothing left to prove on this football field, and I think wisely enough for us. I like that we're giving Ashton some chance here, and when you're in a position where you're down 36 to 6, you can have enough pride where you don't really want to get pulled out of the game as well. So maybe Ryan got a little nicked up and they're being a little precautious with him, and maybe that's why we don't know the reason, but it's good to just go ahead and see how he reacts, with the lights on and all that sort of thing. So.
Yeah, the Warriors did have, in that defensive backfield, number 5, Zach Olson, number 6, Carson Keyser. I saw one of the Brozics out there, I believe. I saw 88 Sean Hammerbeck. So, they still had a few of the starting squad there. I can see a couple maybe fresh, cleaner jerseys out there. I think maybe an opportunity here for a timeout from the Watchdogs, and now we're going to see more substitutions on the Watchdog side. I think that's a planned timeout with 6:52. Let us get our JV offense organized. Give an opportunity for the visiting team. This is kind of that surrender part of the game. Give an opportunity for the defense to make a few substitutions and know that we're bringing our JV squad out there as well offensively. Oberly hands off to James. Going to take it for a gain of about, we'll call it 4. Bring up 2nd and 6 for the Watchdogs.
And you might ask yourself, why aren't we switching out our line? To be frank, we're just not that deep. The size that we are, even at 11A or 11B, we just aren't really deep in that line. And you'll say, well, I see some players down there. But, part of this, too, is you're trying something a little different. You got Seth James at tackle. You're putting some people in some different positions that they aren't normally playing. And you kind of want to just continue to get reps tonight in live action, see if it gels. We obviously had some issues early on with the snaps. Now we're going under center to kind of alleviate some of that. It wasn't a good first few plays there to Ashton, and now if we can get him under center, make sure he gets a snap. We get Fickbaum in here now. He's got a nice run, gets a first down. So, let's see what a few of these other guys had that have contributed in the games previous, and now let's get him in. And
real nice run by number 7, Jax Fickbaum, a junior, 5'8", 145 pounds. Ran hard, got outside, looked for the opening, and then turned and cut it up. Took it for the first down for the Watchdogs, moved the chains, and 1st and 10 from their own 42-yard line.
Well, and you want to have your line also get some success. And you say, they're playing against more of a junior varsity. But, hey, when you start to at least execute your angles, and here we go. We're watching Malachi James, another good playmaker they have, lots of speed. He's able to turn the corner, and so what they like to do really seems to be executed well when we get into that late part of the game when we're facing a little lesser competition. But for whatever reason, we just haven't been able to put that same type of execution when we're playing those varsity teams. And kind of baffles me a little bit because it seems like we have personnel to get there, but it just hasn't materialized a whole lot this year.
Yeah, 1st and 10 from the Warriors' 40-yard line. Oberly taking the call from assistant coach Owen Renaud on the sideline, under center. Split end on the right side. James in motion, takes the pitch, works on the short side of the field, run out of bounds by number 30 for the Warriors.
And as you're watching that play, as James is coming out towards the sideline, you get a little bit of a wall going. You got Waldner out in front. You got Jace Adams out there. So you've got some blockers out in front, executing that part of it very well. Maybe this just comes down to a tempo and a speed type of thing where these other defensive players that Winter had were just able to kind of capitalize and get to the outside before.
Ball is on the ground. Just the snap did not quite get into Oberly's hands. Not the end of the world there. It was 2nd down. We're still going to be 3rd and manageable. Oberly got back down on it, so it's going to be 3rd and about 4 here for the Watchdogs. Grossenberg Implement, regardless of your workspace, farm, lawn, or garden, you'll need the right tools and resources to complete your work, and this is just the place to get them. Additionally, we offer several equipment services such as precision ag support, technical diagnostics, and several others. So stop by and see us, Grossenberg Implement.
And you'd expect to maybe see a blown snap here and there. Joe's into a new position tonight. This isn't his regular position.
Here goes Fickbaum.
Oh, nice.
Oh, he's still on his feet. Takes it out to the 20-yard line. Number 7, Jax Fickbaum.
So it's kind of a new position for Joe. Obviously, you're not going to typically have your backup quarterback getting a lot of reps with your starting center. So there's, sometimes when you go up there, you would think that, well, a snap is a snap. Well, it's considerably different from a 6'7" player versus someone who's maybe more around 6'1" or 2. So the angle and where you place your hands, all of that, the center's used to snapping in a specific area. And you have to remember, they snap the ball. They do have someone right across the line from them, too. They're responsible for blocking. So there's a few things that are kind of have to go at the same time, and it can be a complicated exchange sometimes.
Play action. Oberle looked out to the deep kind of seam route. He checked back down, went out to the flat area out in the open. He found Valder.
You can't argue with the accuracy.
Yeah, he does throw a nice ball. He's finding the touch on the ball, and again, seems to like the connection with Valder there. Again, his first read, it was more down the field, more of something along the hash lines, between the hash and numbers. He checked down, looked a little further to the right, saw Valder over there, and just set one in there really nice for him. Fickbaum.
Yep.
Up through the tackle, kicks it out to the left, and that is a 8-yard touchdown run for number 7, the junior Jax Fickbaum.
And there was you could see some fresh legs.
Yeah.
They definitely had put his foot in the ground, turned it upfield, made a few guys miss, found the end zone pretty easily on that one. And so nice to see us come and respond. Yes, we're playing against, not their starting team, but once again, it's important that you have these types of reps, get a feeling of some gelling, start to understand what these players are doing, and then you also can bring in some fresh players and have some success on the ground and run some offenses that are there. So I really like the fact that Ashton is finding some success tonight too, because this is something he'll definitely build on, and we're getting a taste of what this looked like. I'm not suggesting we all of a sudden run him for the rest of the year, but hard to deny that he's doing some nice things out here right now.
Yeah, that's for sure. On the point after attempt, Peyton Hoffman got his foot into that one and delivered a nice extra point kick there for the Watchdogs. I believe Svegen was the holder on that. Was I correct? I believe Svegen was the holder, and he is out here looking to kick off, so we could assume that Ryan Svegen, the senior, was just a little cramp or a little nick or something, but it appears to be okay.
Yep, he looks to be good. Unfortunately, Jack does not entered the game again after he looks like he maybe got his bell rung a little bit. His pads are off. He's on the sideline. I see him rubbing his head, so I don't know if he's in some sort of a concussion protocol or what, but he's definitely done for the night based off of what I see there. And Jax came in and filled that role and got himself on the stat sheet.
Watchdogs with the low squibbing kick. There is an opening here. There's a seam. Shirk has got his hands full to catch him. It's not going to happen. Running that one back is Keyser. He fielded that around their own 30-yard line, so we're going to call that a 70-yard kickoff return. Low squibbing kick. He almost took a knee to field it, but kept his knee off the ground, picked it up. The pursuit just spread and created an opening, and that's all somebody like Carson Keyser needs to take that thing to the house.
Yeah, earlier in the game, he caught the punt return and probably could have let that go and have it go into the end zone, but you can see he's very comfortable just catching the ball, even with players coming down to make some hits on him, and I think that he's someone that says, I got the ball in my hands, I think I can score. So I think it dawned on his brain maybe there he should take a knee, but you get a playmaker like that, it's pretty hard for him to resist to not try to return it. And unfortunately for Beersford, his shiftiness and his quickness and his speed appeared, and he took it to the house.
Yeah, Quincy Phillips under center there, turning pitch to, I believe it was 27, Brevin Bolander, the junior running back, 6 foot, 160 pounds. He is wrapped up out on that right side. I don't know which Watchdog got him, but a couple Watchdogs were there. So the 2-point conversion does not complete. with 1:42 to go in the game. Winter Warriors 42, Beersford Watchdogs 13.
And doggone it, we go down, we get a nice drive, we put the points on the board, and then you kind of get the wind taken out of your sails, on the next play. And, it's just been that kind of a season. And here we are, wrapping up this game. Going to go 0-3 next week, going off to Flandreau. I think a team, I don't know what their score is, but I think we've got a...
Yeah, they're 1-2. I don't know where they're at tonight, but they're 1-2 on the season. So we will travel to Flandreau next week. That's a 7 o'clock kickoff in Flandreau. Winter Warriors, we referenced it earlier. They're going to go to 4-0, so they'll hit the midpoint of their season. And they will be traveling on September 16th. They will travel to Lead Deadwood and play that game at Ferguson Field.
And really you look forward to October 6th if you're a Winter fan or a West Central fan or just a fan of high school football. I would say right now that looks to be one heck of a game, so that'll be one on my radar I think that we would want to keep our eye on, because obviously in different divisions, but it kind of makes a statement if you go out and win that game.
Yeah, on October 6th, we will be hosting Sioux Falls Christian at home that night. But if you were looking for, an anticipated matchup, at least we would assume, just looking at paper and records, that game where Winter does travel to West Central, that could be a fun one.
Yeah. And so, looking forward to us once again. We go to Flandreau. On paper, that looks to be one that, is it a winnable game? I think it kind of depends on which team shows up from Beersford. We've seen some signs here tonight that we can play some defense, cause some turnovers. That's the type of mentality, momentum we're going to have to carry into next week. You can't let opportunities slip through your hands. We've got a super tough schedule after that. We're getting in kind of the meat of it. Even Sioux Falls Christian coming in tonight at 0-2. I don't think that's a cupcake. I think there were some close games there. Maybe they're a step back from what they were last year, but Dakota Valley is definitely rolling. And if you look at the points for and points against, they're leading the way. So Dakota Valley, I called it earlier in the year. I think that's a dark horse team. I think they'll make some static when we get into the playoff run. But we've got some favorites out there, and our schedule does not get easier as we go forward. So hopefully, as we look forward to the next week, get a W somewhere in here, and then we start to get into that a little bit tougher part of that schedule, and maybe we find something that works here.
Yeah, Watchdogs travel to Flandreau next week. Then it's homecoming, big week, Hall of Fame banquet, an induction ceremony. We've got the homecoming game with the Lennox Orioles, coronation on Monday. We have a home volleyball. I believe it's on Tuesday. I'm going on memory here. So that's always a big week at any school is homecoming week. So we look forward to that. And the Orioles traveling to town. We had a great game with them last year. Overly rolls out to the right. Didn't really have a receiver there. Just kind of threw it out into open space. 15.1 on the clock. Again, Winter Warriors 42. Beersford Watchdogs 13, 15.1 on the clock. Krause Cam, we do have our number one fan, Roger Krause, out tonight. Beautiful night for football. Great student section. You can see them packed in there wearing their whiteouts with a color night. The rest of the adults and fans hanging in here, supporting their Watchdogs. And again, great traveling group here from the Winter Warriors as well. I saw a number of them joining the tailgate feed and having a pulled pork sandwich, so we appreciate the softball team putting that on for those fans, local and who have traveled. Great barbecue pork meal there. Overly rolling out, long time. Looks against the sideline for a receiver. Again, Valder was the target, just couldn't quite pull it in.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. Would have been a first down. As I said before, he's got some poise. He definitely has someone bearing down on him from behind. A lot of quarterbacks will either panic in that position and try to force the ball just to get it out of their hands, or take off and run with it. He seems to be very comfortable, even though that the defense is bearing down on him. He just keeps his eyes downfield and looks for an open receiver. And so, boy, we've got a lot to build on with this guy.
Empty backfield, trips right, nice twins left. They do set up a little screen play to Fickbaum. He's eventually going to be brought down. That will take it to zeros on the board, but that is a connection to Fickbaum. Takes it out to the 45-yard line. Final here in Beersford at Cortland Carnes Stadium. Winter Warriors 42, Beersford Watchdogs 13. Really pretty nice showing here from the Watchdogs. The score maybe doesn't reflect. They played with a lot of heart, forced some turnovers. Just couldn't quite get the offense clicking for the majority of the game. But defensively, I felt like they really played pretty hard.
Well, we're playing against a championship team. Would anyone be surprised if this team takes home another trophy this year? I certainly wouldn't, and I think they're the hands-on favorite. So it's not like you're playing somebody and you go, hey, this is a game that we're going to come in and establish a run game. You know, we had troubles with it last week. So if you can come out, show a lot of heart, keep your chin up. You know, this is a game unlike last week. You probably watched the game film here, and you know, with the change in personnel and some of those other things. You know, last year when we walked into Lennox, we moved Jackson Tadlock from the line into fullback and found a little lightning in a bottle. You know, tonight it didn't happen, but definitely something you could take away from this game. And I like what they did with the change in personnel. Probably can go into Flandreau next week with your chin up. And I've seen some confidence out of this team that I hadn't seen earlier in the season as well.
All right, we're going to give a final recognition here, Jeff, to a few of our squad that we kind of got. We've got a couple new faces here, a couple familiar ones. All right. So Renee James helping us out on the broadcast. Matt Storo doing a ton of work behind the scenes, helping us out. Owen Hieronymus on his first game here, helping us on the production side. He got the headset on for a little bit. Hunter Penn, our guy, back on the camera. We'll see him around, I'm sure, in some more games. Maybe put him in the headset here yet this year, whether it's basketball, volleyball. Gavin Stewart, again, one of our founding fathers of camera work. He was working the Ronin camera on the sideline, been with us a long time. Giovanni Escobar helping us out as well. And Mr. Klunkstedt, appreciate you joining the squad here. I don't know what everybody was doing, but I know we got a lot of things happening here on Watchdogs.live. Appreciate everything the squad is doing. Jeff, appreciate everything you do to help us out as well with this football broadcast. We really appreciate your knowledge that you bring to the game.
Yep, you know, didn't end up in the W that everybody wants, but a lot to build on here. And so we look forward to coming back here at homecoming. Should be an electric crowd, lots of folks in the stands, and so good environment, and we can't wait to get back here for a little more home cooking. All
right, Flandreau is a live ticket. They're part of the live ticket family. I don't want to say 100%, but you should be able to find the game next week on FlandreauFlyers.live or tune into Watchdogs.live, and you should be able to check out the Watchdogs on the road at Flandreau. On behalf of the entire crew that we've got here on Dogbone Entertainment and Watchdogs.live, we're signing off. We'll see you here at Cortland Carnes Stadium in 2 weeks.
Have a great night.